That sounds like someone isn't on airplane mode, Steve. And I'm going to be singing a song now. You've already distracted me from doing my job.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
And now, I need to start singing a song. Are we live now? Can I sing a song?
I don't know if we're live. We might be. Raw.
It's going in Ramble. It's going in Ramble. And here we are. We're live. Welcome to the Wrestle Ramble. WWE fans turned on this week's edition of Raw. I am Luke Cohen. Steve here.
Hey, friendo, Steve here. I'm back on the internet.
And over there is Randy Andy Datson, who is manning them super chats, who didn't do a very good segue into this, did you, mate?
All right, whatever.
Slightly pressed the wrong button. Also, before we crack on, so thank you very much, Steve, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's
oh, my gosh.
Absolute pleasure to have you here. You are our first American guest host on the Wrestle Ramble.
You didn't have Zane on?
We did not have Zane on.
Take that, Brian Zane. Take that. Yeah.
So you are our first American.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you for flying all the way over here just for this.
It was just for this. This is what, listen, if you want to get big on YouTube, it's collaboration.
That's what they tell you.
Spend thousands of dollars getting here just for this.
Just for this.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear me and Steve talk more about his incredible travels across the United Kingdom, head on over to the Wrestle Ramble podcast, which is about half an hour after this has gone out live. And we're going to be doing the podcast intros and outros and reading your mailbag questions. But before we crack on, Randy, what was who was this present from again?
That present is from Caleb Maldonado.
Caleb Maldonado, who sent us in the post some new Funko Pops for the set.
Which is wonderful. We got the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, which we did not have before, so that's very nice of you.
They can join Kenny here on the desk.
That's lovely. It's the real elite right there.
Oh.
Can we do the pose? Can we do the pose? Just like that. There you go.
There it is. You are way more in shape than I am. I think you look way more impressive than I did.
No. Someone has already pointed out that you have way too much hair to be on this channel, Steve.
It's true, he does.
If I turn down, if I like bring my head down this way, every picture from my back is just a giant white pale.
Dude, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you, man.
Yeah.
And of course, this episode is sponsored by the WrestleTalk Almanac Volume 2. It is an incredible magazine. Head over to WrestleTalk.BigCartel.com and order your copy today. And if you do, you get a free signed photo of myself and Oliver Davis, who should be back tomorrow, but might be back for the Saturday Ramble. Depends on how tired he is.
I'm so sad I missed him.
I know.
I really am. He's got the most addictive voice. I remember when I first came across you guys, I don't know exactly the date, but I remember he's got that voice, and then this happens now, and then Shane McMahon was not on Raw. It's amazing. It's so addictive. I see why you guys are so popular.
In fairness, he says the exact same thing about you. When I said, Steve's coming in, he was like, the one with the voice. I was like, yeah, it is. He's like, oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's I got that going for me. I don't have much else. You know what? This is great. You know why? Because I was flipping through this, and it's chock full of actual factual information about wrestling.
Stats and stuff.
It's terrific. I kind of want to do my own Going in Raw version, which is just stuff that I remember from the year.
Nice.
So it's like it would all have to be from my horrible memory, and Larson's, of course. We're both up there in age. And so we'll do our own almanac, but so as not to be, gimmick infringers, it would just be from memory. And it would be like, this is what I remember. And it'd all be wrong. All of it would be wrong.
Yeah.
Biggest story of the year, Kenny Omega signed with WWE. Didn't he? No? Yeah. Didn't happen?
Not
whatever.
Sure.
It's in the almanac.
I mean, either way, we're going to send a cease and desist if you start doing anything.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Wouldn't be our first time.
But we're going to kick off this week's edition of the Raw Review by talking about this fatal four-way elimination match between Alexa Bliss, Natalya, Naomi, and Carmella, with the winner going on to face Becky Lynch at SummerSlam for the Raw Women's Championship. And I thought to myself, man, there is only one person in this match that has had any modicum of a push for the last year.
Yeah.
And she was the one who didn't win.
Yes. You're talking about Alexa Bliss, right?
Yeah.
Okay, making sure.
She was featured a lot in this match. It was a really weirdly structured match where she was sort of interfering, but also helping, but also doing rest holds. And the big takeaway really is that the crowd turned against it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In a big, big way. They started chanting, "This is awful, boring."
Specifically during that sequence with her and Naomi, where Naomi was trying to get out of the headlock, if I'm not mistaken. And they just, "This is awful."
Yeah, chanting boring, started chanting for Sasha Banks. At one point started chanting for John Cena. Started chanting, the fact they just started booing the fact that the match wasn't ending.
Yeah.
The biggest pop of this match was when Natalya eliminated Naomi, because they were like, "Oh my God, the match is nearly over.
Yeah.
Right, we can actually start moving forward with this now." And Alexa Bliss has come out on Twitter and said that she called it disrespectful. The way that the crowd reacted to it. Naomi tweeted a woozy face emoji. And it was, I don't think it was a particularly good match anyway, but man, it's far from the worst women's match or match I've seen in WWE this year. It's amazing that this was the match that people turned on.
Yeah, I don't know. People are so weird. Where do you stand on chanting? There's got to be some decorum, right? I'm not. My like the worst thing for me is when people, for example, so we went to a SmackDown taping, which of course has a 205 taping on it also. And I'm a big fan of 205. I think it's spectacular. But of course, there are people there who are just there to see the dark match following it.
Yeah.
And so in an arena where people aren't really saying much anyways, during a match, one person will say, "This is boring," which is horrible.
Yeah.
Which I think is just absolutely terrible. These people are busting their butts, they're risking their lives out there. In this case, I don't know what the deal was. I think there was sort of a combination of the way the match was presented in the first place. It almost felt, because the big deal about Raw was, of course, the 10-man cross-brand battle royal to determine the number one contender for Brock Lesnar.
It was for the record, it was the cross-branded All-Star Top 10 Battle Royal.
That's what I forgot.
Yeah.
All-Star. And so the fact that Becky Lynch is a big deal, her match at SummerSlam, I think, should be a big deal. And they sort of just shoehorned this match into the episode, whereas it probably should have had its own big deal. I know they were in Canada, so of course that's where you're going to have Natalya. But still, like, make it a bigger deal.
Yeah, it almost felt like if you knew, if you knew you were going to go with Natalya at SummerSlam, then maybe you should have been giving Natalya some semblance of a push leading up to it.
For sure. Yeah, and I'm just, what I had to say is just the tip of the iceberg. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
But to answer your question on where I sort of stand on this, I think that fans are obviously free to chant whatever they want to chant.
Yeah, sure.
I think there is certainly an argument to be that it is disrespectful to chant that this is boring.
Yeah.
At a match that, and it was a boring match. So, in fairness to the crowd, it was a boring match, and it came within the third hour, which I certainly don't think helped. Like, if this had been at the start of the show, in the first hour, certainly wouldn't have been hearing these sorts of chants, but I don't think it was placed in a particularly great spot for the show.
I agree with that. It was, if they'd have made a big deal about it, if you start the show with Becky coming out, like, that music is going to get everybody on their feet, and then you introduce the participants. But it's funny because, like, the participants of the match, even, it's as if they didn't have a lot of chemistry, or it was just the booking of the match. But, like, Carmella's come into her own as she's a pretty decent wrestler. Naomi is one of the more creative members of the women's division. And I was kind of sad. And look, we all knew it was going to be Natalya because of, where they were and where they're going.
Yeah, I didn't. I genuinely thought it was going to be Bliss. When Natalya won, I wrote in my notes, well, that's weird.
Because
until she got that promo saying, we're in Canada for SummerSlam. And I was like, oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now I'm with you.
Yeah. And I think it's good, even though she's, like, supposedly have been retiring, like, 5 different times over the past year. So, I was fine with that because I think the match is going to be pretty good. And I did like the banter at the end between her and Becky.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
It was the best bit of the segment.
It really was. But yeah, I think it was just the match. I thought the participants in the match were above the actual booking of the match. I think that was the problem.
Completely agree. Like, I've really turned a corner with Carmella. Like, this time last year, I was on a big sort of, like, negative Carmella train, only because her character was so inconsistent on TV.
It was, yeah.
She was either booked to, like, she kept being presented as this, like, fluky champion that keeps, like, eking out these victories.
Yeah.
But then she's pinning Charlotte clean, and I'm like, well, is she a rubbish champion or is she a good champion?
Yeah.
Because that would suggest to me that she's good.
Yeah.
But then on TV, you're like, no, you're fluky and you're actually rubbish.
Yeah.
Then so I found her to be completely inconsistent. But since her babyface turn and her alliance with Truth, I think she's been a great TV presence.
She has been.
And really, really wonderful. I'm a big fan of Naomi.
Yeah.
Natalia, I can kind of take or leave. I think she is, I don't want to say, I don't want to use the term past her prime because that's really, really harsh and unfair.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone has been interested in Natalia for, not going on 2 years.
She has not had in recent memory a memorable feud.
She had that one with Ruby Riott and they put Jim's face on the table.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it. Like, that was the last thing she had to do.
Yeah.
And that was November last year.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to say in July of 2019, 8 months on, that, oh, by the way, she's now the #1 contender. She's barely been featured on TV. And that's what I mean. Like, the 4 people that they picked, only one of them has been on TV in a prominent role.
Yeah.
For this year. So it's just very weird. And all of a sudden we're like, oh, we're pushing Natalia now. And she's now having the top women's match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Very, very odd. Aside from the fact it's in Canada.
Yeah. And if you look at who else, given that we seem to be in like a post wild card rule world where like you can kind of put anybody in any match.
Yeah.
If you look at the other people, especially over on SmackDown, you've got, and I understand they're like a tag team, but like you got Asuka and Kairi Sane. Oh, two people who could be killer single matches at SummerSlam. There's a lot of people out there that, might be more interesting choices even for the elimination match, even if they didn't go on and win.
Mm-hmm. Ember Moon.
Don't even get me started. She's terrific. Even I'm a big fan of Sonya
Deville.
Yeah.
Oh, Sonya Deville. I'm a huge
She's
fan
terrific.
Of.
She's terrific. So like I think there were a lot of other people that could have been in this. Even make it a larger like pool in the match. Make it like a 6-person elimination match. But yeah, you're right about Natalia. Like there's been zero build for this, and you've got. I'm sorry, because they decided to shoehorn all these pay-per-views into the schedule, you've got about 10 minutes before SummerSlam actually happens. Like, there's not that much. There's like, 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, I think it's like 3. Is it 3 or 4 weeks until SummerSlam? It's like it's early August, isn't it?
12th of August.
12th of August.
Yeah.
So we've got like 3-4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I would almost argue actually putting Ember Moon and Mandy Rose in this match. Granted, then you would have had. Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter with the brands and wildcards and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But if you'd have put Ember Moon and Mandy Rose in this match, at least then that furthers their storyline from SmackDown. And you could have used some of that to fuel the match and build up to the fact that they've got a match tonight on SmackDown where they've got Ember Moon's picking a mystery partner to tag with. They're going up against Fire and Desire. So you could have used this match to build that match. Neither of them have to win, but you can use the match to kind of like guide you to be like, oh, and by the way, these two are going to clash again on SmackDown in this heated rivalry over donuts and magazines or whatever it is they're feuding over at the moment. Yeah. So I thought that it was a very odd choice, an odd selection.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree. I agree completely. When you look at the men's match, the men's All-Star 10-person whatever battle royal, when you look at that,
the cross-branded All-Star Top 10 battle royal.
I'm sorry. What was I thinking? When you take a look at that. You have stories built into a lot of the participants. You've got, even if it comes down to big man versus big man, you have Big E, which, by the way, we'll get to this when we talk about it, but he is so overdue for a singles push.
Right, yeah.
When he's standing face-to-face with Braun Strowman, I got goosebumps. I thought it was great. And so you have, like, natural stories that are either you're excited to see or you've already seen, and there's some history there between some of those participants. You don't have any of that here. Alexa Bliss is coming off a thing with Bayley. Naomi is not in a thing right now. Nope. Natalia's not in a thing right now, and Carmella's with R-Truth usually, and this has nothing to do with that. So
yeah, and I think that's why the crowd turned against the match. It's because they weren't given any reason to be invested in any of the characters, and therefore them being successful or unsuccessful.
Yeah.
The only storyline that's going on here is Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
And they didn't win.
Yeah, exactly.
And so Natalia won. And I think actually, in credit to them, I think that they actually managed to get Natty over to a certain degree in the post-match moment.
Oh,
and
for sure, yeah.
They did an interview with Mean Charlie Caruso, and Becky grabbed the mic and she said that she's going to wipe the floor with Natalia in her own country. And she said, I do a lot of, we are friends, but, we're not going to be friends come SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I do a lot better in war than I do in love. And then Natalia had a very, very weird line where it said, well, you must not be a good lover then, bitch.
I'm glad I wasn't the only person who had to like try to decipher what that meant.
I don't know, but the crowd reacted big to it. I think because she said bitch. And like, that's the biggest cheap pop you can get in WWE.
Well, that and questioning a person's sexual prowess.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't really matter if it makes sense or not. It's like if I say, oh, you're a crap lover, then people are going to pop for that. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make any sense, like the context of it. So that was totally fine. And I like that Natalia, like at least during the match, she had, some of the makeup had come worn off. So she looked like she had just been through a battle.
Yeah.
And that made the standoff work really, really well. And she had those lines. She said the lines with conviction, which again, that goes a long way. And they looked like they were ready to throw right then, right there. And that always really, really does help. I just feel like this could have been like a much more expanded match. I mean, it was already a long match.
17 minutes.
That is very long, especially considering the guys was like maybe 10 minutes.
Well, it went through one ad break.
Yeah.
And I thought the whole point of it being a battle royal was so they could do like the false like restarts and like we'll get to the final four and then we'll restart the match.
Are you tired? That's everybody hates that here, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, good.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
But I was trying to work out why they picked a battle royal at the end, but no, they did it all within one commercial break, like one sort of like segment.
Yeah, that really needed to be like a whole half hour. I mean, that's one. It's I hate saying this, but like that's one thing that I miss about Raw in general. Not to steer from the point, but is that we used to get on Raw those 25-minute long matches, which you can go back to and say, well, they don't really do those on pay-per-view anymore. And so at least we get them on Raw, and they don't do that anymore. Now it's just like, oh, best 2 out of 3 falls, which just kills the drama.
Yeah.
Because they have to get to a fall before commercial break.
Yeah.
And it just kills all the drama.
And then when you do have a singles match, you're like, well, okay, well, this isn't going short. This is going short.
They all go short. Yeah.
Yeah, that's as soon as they announce this is like one fall to a finish, you're like, oh, okay, cool. So it's going to be over in a couple of minutes.
2-minute match.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Start the timer.
Which we got a couple of those on Raw last
Yeah,
week,
we really did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I get why the fans turned on the match. It was boring. I think Bliss just going to headlocks all the time really didn't help matters.
Yeah.
There was a moment where she was helping Natty pin Naomi off a powerbomb, and Naomi kicked out, and Natalya got really annoyed at Bliss. And I'm like, why are you getting annoyed? She's helping you.
Yeah.
And like, if you eliminate Naomi, then that betters your chance of winning.
Yeah.
So I felt that it was just some logic holes in there. And yeah, the crowd just completely turned against it.
It's kind of odd too, because like as of late, there's been some pretty decent. I mean, going back a little, I mean, I know that Fit Finley's been working with the women's division, and they all praise him quite a bit. Maybe it was somebody new doing the producing here. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, they'll never tell us. They don't like us knowing stuff. They're very resentful of us fans.
Yeah. Quite. So I get why the crowd turned on it. I don't know if I buy into the whole that it's the disrespectful thing. I get it as an argument, but I think fans are free. To be honest, at least they didn't get a beach ball out. Like once you get a beach ball out, that's when I start to lose my mind a little bit. But like because that means you took that beach ball in there specifically waiting for a match to be bad, so that you could like start crapping all over it. It's just weird to me that it was this match of all matches that the fans started to crap all over, because I think that there's been a lot worse matches in WWE this year.
Yeah, it just you never know with what crowd you're gonna get. Like you never know what traffic is like. I mean, you don't. It's so weird. Like crowds are like living, breathing organisms. Yeah. You don't know what's gonna crawl up their butt or what. You know, you just don't know.
Well, when we did the review for. I can't remember which pay-per-view it was now. I think it was last week's SmackDown when they were, or last week's Raw where they were looking for the mystery partner for Roman Reigns to be tagging with against Shane and Drew.
Yeah.
Shane and Drew were walking around backstage, speaking to Janice and whatnot. Yeah. And they spoke to a concessions guy who was selling beer for $15.
Yeah.
Now here in the UK, we were befuddled by this. Me in particular, I was like, "How $15? That's an incredible amount of money to pay for a singular beer."
So normal.
But and everyone was like, "By the way, that's completely normal."
Yeah. At arenas,
that would make me very cranky.
At arenas, that's totally the case. At like your bar, unless it's like a Saturday night and you're like in LA, like on the Sunset Strip or something like that. Like then you can get really expensive beers too, but otherwise they're usually kind of normal price. But at arenas, it's horrible. It's ridiculous,
ludicrous. That's why I'd be cranky. Yeah. But Randy Andy Danson, what are people saying in the super chats?
Well, They are saying lots of nice things about having Steve here, first of all.
Well, it
Lots
is
of
nice
people
having Steve.
are
You
very happy.
shouldn't.
People saying it's the mega powers. People saying that it's the wild card rule. I'm afraid you have to do that again because it was on my face at that time.
Oh,
And
well,
also,
it's-
it's behind the Funko Pops.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime moment.
Oh,
now.
there you
Never
go.
happen again.
The wild card rule, who do you, because we know we play a game, or we have played a game in the past where who does this person look like? So who do you think you've had your lookalikes?
Oh, well, who do I look like? Oh, I get Cena a
Yeah,
lot.
you've got John Cena.
Yeah, I call myself Doughy Cena. Mark Wahlberg, I get a lot.
Yeah, you've had Mark
Well,
Wahlberg.
in fairness, Mark Wahlberg and John Cena look very much alike.
That's true, they do. Hold on, wait. I get James Hetfield sometimes
No,
from
I've
Metallica.
not.
Oh, that's cool.
Really?
I haven't seen that. You've had JBL,
Oh, yeah, I've gotten that.
Dan Aykroyd,
What? Really?
Ah, big Danny Aykroyd.
and someone has asked, where is Larson?
He is probably right now at this moment. It is 8 hours ago where we come from, which would have been 12 minus 5 is 6 in the morning. Yeah, that makes sense. Like 6:20 in the morning. Hopefully he's sleeping. Sometimes his dog wakes him up this early. I don't know if he's in the Bay Area, so I hope he's sleeping. I hope he's getting rest. He gets the entire week off. We pre-record a bunch of stuff. So hopefully he's sleeping and getting some good rest.
And before we go to Super Chats, it is Angel Perez's birthday, so maybe a quick shout
Happy
out
birthday
to
to
them.
you. Happy birthday,
We will
buddy.
start, as we often do, with Tim Arndt, who has not said anything, but thank you very much for your donation,
Thank you
Tim.
kindly.
Japanese name says, moving to the Wednesday Super Chat since I don't really watch SmackDown or Raw. Hope you don't mind.
Don't mind at all. Don't mind at all, mate.
Absolutely not. Vernon Jeffrey says, I live in Philly, but I didn't go to Extreme Rules because of other obligations, but I'm glad my city had a good show.
Oh, it did. Yeah, Extreme Rules was a lot of fun. Really, really enjoyed it. Apart from the main two matches.
Jobber JJ says the match was crap considering what AEW's women's division is putting on. WWE should be embarrassed. I was embarrassed and I felt sorry for all four women.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, actually, in sort of defense of what Jay is saying there, they have got an incredible women's roster that could be putting on like some of the best women's matches we're getting in the country, in the world.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this was not one of those.
It's not the women's fault they were booked to have a
Boring
boring match. That was.
Yeah.
By the way, Larry Sonka, who does the 411 Mania stuff, has said that the match was 25 minutes long.
Was it really?
Oh my gosh.
And the number one contenders battle royale was 7 minutes 55.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
It did. I mean, granted, I will say, like, pulling the curtain back, I took a break in the middle of it because it kept going, and I was like, Carmella had been eliminated, and then a bunch more stuff happened.
probably-
and I was like, I think I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna go have a shower. I'm gonna make myself a cup of
Probably
tea
the
and have some
longest
breakfast.
TV match they've had since one of the Gauntlet matches before Mania for Kofi.
Yeah, and I think there was wrestling in the ad breaks as well.
Anyway, Evan Samuel says, since when is the EOD the most powerful finisher?
End of days. Yeah.
Oh, they've been booking that really strong.
Yeah, but like Becky came out limping, and they were like, "Oh, it's because she took the end of days."
Limping?
Yeah.
I think she just like she forgot that it's not pre-Mania, like because they had her limping all the time before.
That's all
It
she was
terrible.
doing.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Who knew the end of days targets the knee?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why it's so good. It's because you're expecting it to hurt your face.
Did you guys? Did you guys freak out at Extreme Rules when she took the end of days? It was pretty cool.
Genuinely, like I'd been quite bored during the match, and
Okay.
it genuinely made me sort of go like, "Oh my!"
Whoa, yeah.
And it, like completely woke the crowd up.
Yeah,
Because she
yeah.
just kind of turned round into it and not it wasn't like
Like he
built up.
just like pulled her into it
Yeah.
as well, and I was like, "No, they did."
It looks both the end of days and the deep six they both look like really fun moves.
Oh, yeah.
you know, because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just spins people around.
We'll do 5 more for now. M.A. Campbell says, I want to see Demon Finn versus The Fiend at SummerSlam. I think that's probably what we're going.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
I have an idea about that one too.
Oh, do you?
I do. You want to hear it now or
No,
later?
let's tease it.
Okay.
Let's tease it.
All right, find out in a little bit.
Jobber JJ says they should not backlash at us. We're the ones that pushed for women's wrestling. This match represents what Vince truly feels about women's wrestling.
I don't know about that one.
Strong opinions from you today,
Strong
Jobber.
opinions. I'm not sure on that one.
Japanese name says, but for my last Monday Super Chat, out of these four, who was the best general manager? Brad Maddox, Bret Hart, Booker T, Mike
Mike Adamle.
Mike Adamle.
Oh, man. What do you think?
Mad Braddocks.
Yeah?
Brad Maddox, absolutely.
I don't remember.
No, that's terrible. He was terrible.
I was going to say, I can't even remember him being general manager. What did he do?
Me neither. I thought he was just like a shady ref.
Yeah, he was a shady ref, right? He was in the Ryback CM Punk Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And then he was in something with AJ Lee, I think.
I do remember a lot of Brad Maddox. I remember there being more to him than just the ref stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was a GM.
Yeah. I don't remember Booker T being a GM.
I think he
either.
was very briefly. I don't remember. Booker T was SmackDown briefly, I think.
I don't remember Bret Hart being a general manager, right?
It was after his Mania thing.
Was it really?
He came back like a bunch of because I for whatever reason I researched his like comeback because it's so sad and just bizarre, and I wasn't watching at the time live, and so he was GM, but I don't even know what he did. Like I don't know. I don't think any of the names. The point of that list is none of them really did anything.
So I'm going to say Mike Adamle, bless his heart. I'm going to say Mike Adamle. He's the only one I really remember being a GM.
I don't know who that is.
And I mean, really, it's Johnny Ace is the answer we're looking for.
John Laurinaitis, he's the one. People power.
Because CM Punk had a feud with him where they played Stan Bush's "The Touch" from the Transformers movie soundtrack on Raw, which was one of the greatest Raw moments ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, my memory of Bret Hart's return was that terrible WrestleMania match with his
awful.
terrible build.
Yeah.
Then he won the US title from Miz, I think.
Yeah.
In a match where he couldn't take a bump.
Yeah.
And then was in the SummerSlam match against the Nexus.
That's right.
And that's the only thing. I don't remember him being GM. That's all.
Zack Icon Lindner says, first live wrestling I've ever seen was not good.
I'm assuming he means last night.
Ooh.
Yeah, were there any good matches on the show? I didn't hate the show. I thought the show was fine.
I was genuinely shocked.
Zack Ryder versus...
Yeah, in terms of like good matches, I thought the best one was probably the main event.
Yeah, it really was.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I thought there was cool stuff going on during the show though. I thought Cedric winning was a shocker. I thought for sure they were just going to have Drew just start killing people on the way to SummerSlam against. That's going to be Taker, right?
Well, I don't think it is now. Based on this, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Cedric versus Taker.
That'd be great.
And lastly, for now, we got Ryan F. Echoing an earlier comment, say The Fiend versus the Demon at SummerSlam, and The Fiend wins. But we will get Steve's thoughts on that in a little bit.
We certainly will. But let's kick off the Raw review. But before that, please go to WrestleTalk.BigCartel.com and get your copy of the WrestleTalk Almanac Volume 2 that is being propped up by Yokozuna.
His name's Steve.
That's what my wife calls me at home.
It's an excellent magazine. Raw kicked off with new Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Steve, you've been away from the internet for a couple of weeks now.
A little bit.
So what are your thoughts on Brock being champ again?
I mean, it's sort of the Pavlovian, but I guess I was thinking about this morning when I actually saw him. I guess here's my thing. I know Brock Lesnar can have good matches. He's had them with Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Balor. Thank you. I think that Seth's victory over Brock obviously wasn't a decisive moment. It was filled with low blows. And I think chair shots, if I'm not mistaken. I forget. And I think that if Seth is to be taken seriously as a champion, he needs to have the clean, actual wrestling match where he beats Brock Lesnar square in the middle of the ring at SummerSlam, which is probably where it's going to happen if they're going to go in that direction. Or, I mean, Brock might be a ratings mover, and he might be the guy that they have the SmackDown on Fox stuff with. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, if it's going to go past SummerSlam, then it's if it's just for a chance for Seth Rollins to, and I'm not like I'm a Seth Rollins fan. I'm not like a huge Seth Rollins fan, but I can see him beating Brock cleanly the way they wanted Roman to. I could see that happening, and I guess I'd be okay with it. I think it's a money match.
Yeah.
But of course, I think like everybody else, when you see the idea of Brock with the Universal Championship, it's just like, oh.
Yeah, we had a lot of negative responses to it on the videos that we did yesterday and like the review and the ramble we did. I think for me, this is ending at SummerSlam. Like, it's got to be Seth winning the title back and, as you say, having that big decisive win over Lesnar. And I think that actually might help Seth as champion.
Oh,
Because
sure, yeah.
all he's done since winning the belt is feud with Baron Corbin in these sort of like very boring matches. I think this could actually really help cement him as a top guy and as a champion.
May I ask you this, though? In the
do.
lead up, during the entirety of the Roman Brock thing, how many times did we all say, perhaps, it's going to end here, right?
You're absolutely right. We all thought it was going to end at WrestleMania,
Yes!
the one in New Orleans. We were
Yes!
like, oh, it's clearly going to end there.
Right.
And then it didn't. You're like, oh, well, it's going to end at Saudi Arabia, right?
Right, yeah. And then it never did. And I just hope to God they don't go down that path. I don't know
Try
what
to
his
swerve you.
I don't know what his deal is right now with the WWE. He seems to definitely be retired from the UFC. So I don't know. I mean, I hope that if Seth beats him clean, decisive, it does make sense Seth doing it because he is kind of an amalgam of Daniel Bryan, Balor, and AJ Styles. Like you put them all together and you kind of have Seth Rollins. A case could be made, I guess. And so, you get him in there against Brock at Mania, SummerSlam rather, clean finish. And then Brock needs to move on to like some legacy type stuff. Like go against guys who are kind of above the title. Because you need a universal title scene, like any good scene, is a bit on the fluid side and the unpredictable side.
I can almost. I mean, my bold prediction yesterday was they were going to do the title switch at Raw Reunion. I thought they were going to have, because that's going to be like a big show. It's going to be because it's got the nostalgia bump to it. I thought you have the big universal title match on there to really build some intrigue into the show, and then you can hopefully carry those viewers over into the following weeks. But I think that if Seth does win at SummerSlam, which I'm very much hoping that he does, I can almost see Brock going away until the Fox move, and then it's just on SmackDown only, but probably in that WWE Championship picture, and we'll just have a replay of what we did with the Universal title, but with the WWE title instead.
Yeah, because Roman could be there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and brilliant. Another Brock-Roman main event at WrestleMania.
Oh, who doesn't want that?
Exactly, right? I mean, everyone but Vince. But Heyman was there to cut his promo doing the Brock Party shtick with the belt. The crowd were booing them, and Heyman says, "Boo yourselves for not listening." And alludes to the fact that he's got all of the stroke backstage now, because this is the first episode of the Heyman era.
That's been sort of confirmed, I guess?
All the reports said that it was after Extreme Rules.
Okay.
They were going to get essentially a clean slate and sort of, because this was the first show of the Heyman era, which is remarkable because it felt exactly like it always has done. Like they didn't feel like a big change had happened.
Yeah.
And they announced here the cross-branded All-Star Top 10 Battle Royal, with a winner getting a shot at SummerSlam. And it was Rollins, Randy Orton, Big E, Cesaro, Braun Strowman, Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley, and Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn was a late addition. It was meant to be Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
it was advertised.
I wonder what the deal with that was.
Well, according to the Observer, its plans changed, and they want to go in a different direction with Bryan, and he's now making a career-altering speech tonight on SmackDown.
Wow, okay.
So
that's cool.
We'll see what happens with that one. Our first 2 out of 3 Falls match of the evening was between Ricochet and the Usos versus the Revival of Robert Roode.
It's just here now. Now we just have that. Now let's 2 out of 3 falls. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I guess an ad break's coming up then. The weirdest thing about this was, and I rag on WWE sometimes for this, but it's the order that people come out. Yeah. So you had Ricochet come out. By the way, Ricochet, no sound effects in his entrance, so I think that's a positive.
No, he had the pew pew pews.
Did he? Oh,
yeah.
I just didn't hear.
You know what's funny though? You know what's hilarious? This is totally true. This is shoot.
Mm-hmm.
First time I've ever actually heard them.
Really?
Every single time he's come out, people talk about the pew pew pew, and I've never heard them. I've never been paying attention. This time, when Brock was walking up the ramp or whatever it was, I hear pew pew pew, and I'm like, holy crap, that's Ricochet. And then sure enough, it's him.
Yeah, there actually was like a moment of tension between Brock and Ricochet. Not like looking directly at each other, but Brock was just looking at him going like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, and Corey even said, oh, brave of Ricochet just to run past Brock, and it kind of was.
Yeah.
It's kind of terrifying.
Think a Brock Ricochet match would be so much fun.
Yeah, it'd be killer.
Because Brock can like throw that man hither and yonder.
Oh, yeah.
But Ricochet can sell the big versus small.
Big time.
Perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Ricochet made his entrance, and then they come back from commercial, and Robert Roode is finishing his entrance. And I was like, okay, so is it Ricochet and Robert Roode? Can't remember if he was a babyface or a heel. And I saw the Revival in the ring, and then the Usos came out, and it was only then I was like, oh, it's Ricochet and the Usos versus the Revival and Robert Roode.
Yeah, man. I was just happy that Robert Roode has successfully transitioned out of the loser locker room, out of the 24/7 title scene, into guy who eats pin and doesn't. He didn't get any offense in whatsoever, did he?
I don't think that he did. I mean, to be honest, the disappointing thing about this is the loss of the mustache. I really thought that's what was going to push him into the stratosphere.
I watched it on my phone. It was too small to notice that.
He's gone back to full beard. Disappointing.
Bummer.
It's Ricochet pinned Dawson right away. Within seconds, he pinned him.
Go on a commercial in 10 seconds. 9, 8, take a pin in.
Well, that was the weird thing. That wasn't the first. They didn't go to ad break. They did another pinfall and then went to ad break.
Yeah.
But it was even odder. It was the heels worked over Jey Uso, and then Dawson pinned him from a flapjack. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if it was meant to be a shadow machine. I wonder because Wilder was there.
Yeah.
But by the time he was bouncing off the ropes, he'd already left the ring.
Yeah. Okay.
So Dawson had lifted him up to hit the shadow machine, but there was no Wilder there.
Was that
so he just hit a flapjack and then pinned him?
Was that the one from? So they have a name. Is this new? They have a name for Ricochet's single knee codebreaker, the recoil.
Is that what it's called?
That's what they called it last night.
Right.
Maybe that's a new thing.
Yeah, he pinned Dawson with that.
Okay, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he pinned Dawson with that, and then they did the flapjack as the second fall. Then went to ad break.
All right.
And yeah, very much it was just Ricochet gets the hot tag, 6:30 on Roode for the win. Renee oddly called it Retribution for Sunday. I'm like, it wasn't. Robert Roode wasn't even booked.
Yeah.
AJ and the club then walked down to the ring, and Ricochet dived into them and attacked AJ, and the Usos joined in, beating up the club, and they stood tall until Robert Roode got involved. And there was shadow machines and dives and whatnot. Phenomenal forearm and a magic killer to Ricochet, and the club stand tall. I actually thought the closing angle was really cool. Once everyone got involved and started doing finisher stuff, it was really, really fun.
No, I like that. I like that I like that we get to see Gallows and Anderson on TV.
Oh, yeah.
I like that evidently they signed for a ton of money. That's awesome. I've got an idea for them, which I'll talk about a little bit later.
Oh,
yeah.
You're full of ideas today. I like it.
I've been away from this for like a long time, so yeah, man.
It's all just been festering.
It has been.
You've been looking at the Tower of London, but really you're like, what do we do with the club?
I'm like, I wonder what a 6:30 from up there would look like. From the Salt Tower. What would that look like?
Viking Raiders quickly dispatched of some jobbers.
I'm so tired of this, dude. I'm so. They're like one of the best. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go on.
I'm used to doing it with Larson. We cut each other off a lot. They are legit one of the best wrestling tag teams on the planet.
Look at the match they had in NXT over Mania weekend, rather.
Right. And how many times? The sucky thing is, I've always defended jobber squash matches, and Larson lately has been super anti. And they're just proving his point, which bugs me to no end, because now I'm firmly against these jobber squash matches. I'm tired of it. Like, let's get an actual feud. They're going to end up back on main event any day now if they keep on doing this.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened to AOP.
AOP, exactly.
They did their squash matches, won the belts, and then sort of went nowhere with them. And then one of them got injured. They're back, and because they were at Saudi Showdown, but haven't been seen since.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that they need something. I think you can have more than one tag team feud going on at any one time.
Sure.
You don't have to do it as a pay-per-view. You could just blow it off on a TV show.
Yeah.
And I think you can do it. They just choose not to.
Yeah.
We got the recap of Taker and Roman versus Drew and Shane from Extreme Rules, which I thought was excellent.
Yeah, a lot of people like that.
Fun match. And then we had a clip from earlier in the day where Drew walked into a locker room where Finn, Cedric Alexander, the Street Profits, and No Way Jose were hanging out. No Way Jose wearing his parody of the Vote for Pedro t-shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
To be honest,
very timely.
Okay.
Very timely. That movie was 10 years ago.
I think it's even more than that, right?
Probably.
I was at university 15 years ago, and I watched that when I was at university.
I don't like to think about how old I am, man.
But this kind of drove me bonkers, but I should have seen it coming. They're basically ignoring the fact that Drew beat Cedric last week, and that they're just pretending that Cedric's plan worked, and he foiled their heels when he didn't. He got into the ring and got pinned by Drew and Shane.
Yeah.
But then when they showed the recap of this week, edited that bit out, and we're just like, nope, he came in, he did some moves, and him and Roman stood tall.
I know.
And then Drew comes in and he's really annoyed at Cedric, and he's like, you think it's all fun and games last week? And I'm like, you won.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun and games for you. You kicked him in the face. You left him bleeding. You
Yeah.
very much won that match.
Yeah. I could kind of see his point of view. I mean, Cedric did pull the switcheroo on him.
But he lost.
That's kind of enough, though. I mean, that's like don't Don't mess with me, okay? I'm like that. I go to Gorilla. I see the whiteboard that is in 2K19 anyways. You see the whiteboard. It's me versus, what was the dude's name? Gary
Garbutt.
Yeah, Gary Garbutt. I expect to fight him. And then I get Cedric Alexander, who is a terrific competitor. Stay out of my business. I get it from Drew's standpoint. Also, he's probably bummed out. Like just a couple of weeks ago, last time I was watching anyways, he was in a green room with some wonderful hors d'oeuvres, Shane McMahon and the Revival, and now he's just by himself. So I kind of see why he'd be in a bad mood, want to take it out on Cedric.
Have we lost the Omni Shane? Is the Shane Drew partnership over now? I guess we'll find out on SmackDown really what we're doing with Shane.
Yeah, I mean,
so funny when you came into the office today and you were like, "No Shane on the show, right?"
I know,
and I was like, "Oh yeah, but he's on SmackDown tonight."
Oh. So I mean, hey, you know what? Though he was off Raw. The Raw is a really long show. That's a good first step.
It's a good first step.
Yeah.
And it did lead to Cedric versus Drew, where they kept saying that Drew must be embarrassed after last week. I'm like, I don't know why.
Good, yeah.
And then zero reaction for Cedric, probably because he lost. But then, okay, so I like that Cedric won. I like that Cedric won here. I just think it would have been so much better if he'd also won last week. And he got two big upset victories over Drew.
Yeah.
But this match also is one of my big bugbears in WWE, which is the bigger heel dominates. Babyface gets a fluky victory. No one really looks good.
Yeah.
Because Drew just looks like a chump for losing. But Cedric looks fluky in victory. No one really comes out on top. It's not like he had a big flurry of offense and then pinned him.
Yeah, Vince really treads lightly when it comes to anybody smaller beating anybody bigger legitimately.
Yeah.
He's not a fan of that. So for me, it's just like, well, any win is a good win. Cedric's on TV. Again, he's out of the 24/7
That is
loser
very
locker
true.
room picture.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
I'm telling you, yours is literally half empty. Mine is more than half full. So there you go.
You're absolutely right. You know, really, I've got to look at the bright side of this. It's nice having you around. Like, you just inject me. It's like, you sit there and go like, well, what about this? Like, God, you're right. Cedric's on TV now. That is a good thing. And he did win here. We've got a recap of Nakamura winning the IC title at Extreme Rules, and Balor cutting a promo saying that he lost his title, but he's not going to dwell on the past. He's going to look forward. He's going to win the title back. He's facing Joe tonight.
Yeah, he just needs to stay away from the loser locker room. I really feel like the Street Profits have not made a case for being out of what appears to be a loser locker room type situation. If you're hanging out with No Way Jose, you're not hanging out with the right people. You're not. Who else was in the locker room earlier?
It was Cedric, Finn, and the Street Profits.
Finn needs to not be hanging out with any of those people because he should be much bigger than that.
Yeah.
That kind of bugged me a little bit. I mean, legitimately, because I'm like, you're not supposed to be a set piece. You're Finn Balor.
Yeah.
You're just former Intercontinental Champion. You should be somewhere else. But yeah, he did the promo, and it was good. It was very intense.
Yeah, we had Joe cutting a promo, responding to Balor, saying that he'll be there to hand another loss to Finn. And I'm like, well, wind your neck in, mate. You also lost at Extreme Rules.
True. Yeah, true.
But Joe made his entrance. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we're getting Joe versus Balor now. Maybe we're going to cut to an ad break, and then we'll come back and we'll have the match. But Joe makes his entrance, and then they had a recap of Heyman announcing the Battle Royal. And I'm like, guys, we haven't got time for this.
Yeah.
We need to get some wrestling in this. Otherwise, we're not getting a wrestling match out of this.
Yeah.
And then Roman was interviewed backstage. I'm like, guys, we need to get back to this wrestling.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're not getting any of it.
Yeah.
Roman said that this has been his week. He won the ESPY. He went to the Hobbs and Shaw premiere, and he whooped everyone's ass with The Undertaker.
Yeah, that looked fun. I didn't actually watch Extreme Rules because I've been on vacation. I watched Raw.
Fair enough, man.
I watched Raw for this. I'll probably watch
Sorry about
SmackDown. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Roman's ESPY. Did you see the? They recapped it later on in the show.
I didn't. I saw your title and thumbnail saying it was weird.
Well, yeah, they gave it to him on the red carpet. It wasn't actually like
what?
It wasn't a part of the awards ceremony.
It's an award.
Oh, but it's a fake award though, right? Like it's not a
Slammy.
It's the WWE award for the best WWE moments. And they didn't actually do it during the show. They just gave it to him on the red carpet.
God.
This really weird segment where the guy introducing it clearly had no idea who anyone was.
Oh, man.
And he's just like, I'm joined by Seth Rollins, looking at which one's going to nod, be like, it's you, you're Seth.
Oh, it's so bad. I mean, maybe better that than Roman having to go up on stage and being, here's the fake award for fake stuff. Congratulations on your very real cancer stuff. But yeah, here you go. Here's an award for a bunch of,
Yeah, but then we got Joe versus Finn Balor. They say that Joe took Kofi to the limit at Extreme Rules, but I don't think he did.
How long was that match?
It went a while.
I would think the gauntlet matches took Kofi to his limits.
I would completely agree with that. It's certainly more than Joe did.
Right.
Though Kofi looked very convincing in his win. And yeah, this match, what happened? So they beat down Finn. He locked in the clutch. Balor rolled through and he hit the stomp. No, hang on. Joe beat him, right? Joe beat him. Yeah, Joe just beat Balor, right?
Yeah, and then Balor after the match attacked Joe.
Then attacked him.
It was a roll through thing, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he tapped him out. Like it was a roll through. And Finn immediately got up and was all angry with himself. And then he went after
right.
Joe.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I just assumed that Balor won because he was the one that was standing tall at the end.
Yeah, he lost.
Yeah, Joe won. I hate when they do that. I hate when a guy wins and then just gets beaten down afterwards by the guy that he just beat. So it's like, oh, cool. So no one won then.
I generally agree with you. However, that goes into my theory about Finn Balor. So what happened next? And then we'll get into my theory.
This was aside from the main event, this was the best bit of the show.
Yeah, I agree.
They recapped this a bunch, and rightly so, because this was awesome.
Yeah.
This was so cool. Like, Balor's there celebrating the ring, and his music all of a sudden starts going like...
At what point did you realize this is Bray?
I didn't until he was there. I didn't work out it was Bray. Yeah, the music really did. And then the lights systematically shut off.
Yeah.
And then they started like strobing while the Fiend, Bray Wyatt's new character, is in the ring holding Balor in the Sister Abigail. Yeah. And it's strobe lighting. And then the lights come up. He hits Sister Abigail and then just staring into this camera with this terrifying mask. It was awesome.
It was really cool.
Oh, so cool.
And then you hear like a Bray Wyatt laugh. I kind of wish that the lights would have come up and he would have done the Muscle Man dance. Doom, 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 doom. So I kind of feel like this. So a couple people in Super Chats mentioned that they feel like maybe we're going to get Demon versus Fiend at SummerSlam. You know Fiend is not going to lose a match anytime soon. Mm-hmm. The Demon on main roster has been undefeated. This could be the thing that breaks Finn Balor is if the Demon loses at SummerSlam. He's lost his IC title in the kickoff show. He just lost to Joe. He was obviously upset about that because he started whooping on Joe, which is not really a face thing to do. I think after SummerSlam, he joins the club.
Oh, man. I think I've seen a few people make this suggestion.
Yeah.
Pete was making the suggestion in the office as well, and I love it.
Yeah.
I hadn't really considered it previous to like you guys mentioning it, but I'm like, I love it.
We did like a top 10 things they should do. I don't know what it was. We did like a count-out episode where we talked about things that WWE really should be doing in terms of like, why are they leaving so much money on the table? And it's bizarre to me that they would have AJ, Finn, Gallows, and Anderson all on the same, under the contract, on the same roster, whatever, main roster, and you're not putting them together. You're not utilizing the history that everybody knows about. Their merchandise sales, I think, in their last quarterly report was down 20%. You can make all that up by just having a cool-ass shirt.
A cool club T-shirt.
A cool club T-shirt.
As like a dominating heel faction with those four guys.
Yeah.
And what I love most about that is it makes complete storyline sense.
It does.
As you say, lost the title to Nakamura, lost to Joe, then he loses, and then the Demon loses. Mm-hmm. And the report is from Ryan Satin is that Balor's requested time off.
Oh,
so it's most likely, according to Satin, kicking off in mid-August, which would be after SummerSlam. Okay. So you can give the Fiend a big, big win. As you say, the first person to beat Demon Balor on the main roster. Yeah. And then you have Balor go away for 2 months, comes back as a heel. Yeah. Like, comes back, maybe makes the save, then turns heel, and you join the club together. Love it.
If they, my thing was, I would love to see if AJ and Ricochet, number one, I can see a million of their matches. I mean, I hope that carries out after SummerSlam, into SummerSlam, after SummerSlam. You got the club beating down Ricochet 2 months from now. Balor comes down. You think he's going to make the save? No. He tears into Ricochet. They all stand tall with the two sweets. Yeah. I mean, that's just that's so much money you're making right there.
And you're completely right on the T-shirt sales as well, because I would probably wager that the Undisputed Era is one of the best-selling T-shirts from the NXT brand.
I think it is. And their logo is not impressive. It's not. I'm sorry. Those are not pretty shirts, but people love them. I have one too. They're not. I have a tank top. I only wear it in the house. It's horrible. Well, and if I go to Walmart.
Yeah.
Is
that a tank top place, Walmart?
It's like where, it's where you just do not care what you look like, what you smell like.
Yeah.
It's like, I need bananas right now, and I don't care if they're bruised. I'm going to go to Walmart.
In my pajamas.
And there's one on there's one everywhere. And I'm in my pajamas with like a hole in the butt cheek area. I don't care.
My Undisputed Era tank top.
And the Undisputed Era tank top. It's the only place I wear. So like, yes. I mean, even the shirt that Festus was wearing, it had like the Japanese writing and then the club like the gas mask
thing, yeah.
Like put some, I don't know. I'm a big design guy. Like I love cool design. You know, you add some spray paint, splatter to that. Maybe you do a shirt that's all high contrast with all four of their faces, but something cool like their eyes are blacked out. I don't know, something cool. And there you sell a ton.
Yeah.
And just a little. He doesn't have to go full Prince Prince Devitt. You don't need that. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And he'd be and you just have a short period where he's like actually a heel, and then people start loving him, and then he'll be back to being like a tweener, and that's what you want. You'll make a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that idea a lot, and I can't put over the Fiend's debut in ring enough. It was so cool. They recapped it a bunch throughout the show, and rightly so.
Muscle Man dance.
Drake and his wife were checking into a hotel, and he checked himself in as Mr. and Mrs. 24/7 champion.
That was great.
And then he said that this is a great place to consummate the marriage, and Drake's wife was like, you checked us in as Mr. and Mrs. 24/7 champion. She's like, I'm trying to be incognito. If people know that Drake Maverick's here, they're going to come after the belt, which I thought was really funny.
That was really funny, yeah.
And
he's so great.
He really is the man who's come out the most with this 24. I'm not a big fan of the 24/7 title. I think that it's led to some funny moments, but I felt bad because it was sucking people in like Cedric and Bobby Roode.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you guys are so much better than this belt.
Yeah.
But it's led to some great stuff with Drake. And as I was saying to Pete last week, not only has Drake got himself on TV through this belt, he's essentially got his wife a job.
Yeah, that's true. That's awesome.
She's now an on-screen character.
Yeah.
She's not named.
Yeah.
She's just Drake's wife. But he's got his wife a gig. That's great, man.
People have made relatively big careers for a couple years at a time. Look at Ellsworth, I know a lot of people don't want to look at him now, but he took one jobber moment and turned it into like a couple years, and now he's doing stuff on the indie rings. You can take one small thing in the WWE, and if they like you can blow up from it.
Honky Tonk Man is still doing the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
To this day,
yeah,
he will still do that. If you pay him the right amount of money, he will show up to your indie show.
You are a big Honky Tonk Man fan, aren't you? You mentioned him several times during the gaming stuff today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're curious, we're going to be doing some gaming stuff. Well, we already recorded some gaming stuff with Steve playing 2K19, which is going to be on Screenstalker this coming Friday.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, no, it's because I spent a lot of my teenage years listening to shoot interviews with the Honky Tonk Man.
Have you ever met him?
I've never met him.
I've met him once.
Whoa, really?
But it's the most underwhelming story ever. So I'll tell it really quick.
Okay.
I used to work at it was a copy shop called Kinko's. FedEx eventually absorbed them. But I used to work there. I used to make copies of stuff. And one day he came in while he was in town to promote his like whatever local indie thing he was going to be in. And I sold him some copies of some of his independent pro wrestling flyer. I was not like huge into pro wrestling, but I recognized him from back in the day at the time because this is 20 years ago. And it was about 20 years ago. And that's my story.
Okay, cool.
That was it. He didn't ask me, hey, you into pro wrestling? Nothing that.
He didn't tell you to be. Didn't start like talking about mess about Hulk Hogan.
Right? No, which is surprising, given how much he loves to shoot interviews. I gave him his copies and I rang him up, and then he said, "Thank you."
He said, "Thank you, Mr. Man."
Yes, thank you. I can't call him Honky.
Anyway, Truth was also there, and he asked the receptionist if Hornswoggle had checked in, and they spelled it out for them. And then they fade to the Street Profits watching this on TV. It was a really weird transition, but I kind of liked it. They essentially recapped what they saw and then ran down the women's elimination 4-way and the battle royal. Dawkins is into Nikki. That's a storyline for them.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, she's married now, big damo.
Well, yeah, but that's kayfabe, man. No,
Maybe there's a story that they can tell there. Well, the line is always blurring, man.
Absolutely.
They can do. Street Profits. I don't know, man. I'm not huge on.
Whoa, no, you're not going to bury my boys, are you?
Okay, so I
Steve.
like the Street Profits when, like, for example, in NXT, when they turn on the serious button.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot because it's a good juxtaposition to their goofy stuff. I don't like the 100% goofy stuff. I think it's too much. And beyond that, this should appeal to you. Bring call-ups in for storyline purposes, not for them to push the network or to recap what we've already seen.
Yeah.
I don't. Who are the two old men in the Muppets?
Oh, Statler and Waldorf.
Thank you. I don't want that for my NXT champions. I don't want that.
I didn't really think of them as like wrestling Statlers. Wrestling Statler and Waldorf.
Well, now you'll never think of them as anything but.
Thanks, Steve.
No sweat. I ruin everything I touch.
I've been on I'm on a Montez Ford, future WWE champion.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's huge. He's
awesome.
great. He's great.
Then we got Zack Ryder made TV. I don't even know when he lost the belt, but I'm assuming that's the last time we saw him. And he was going to face up against Mike Kanellis. But bearing in mind this is in Long Island. This is Zack Ryder's home turf.
Yeah.
And Maria stops Mike from going out and calls him a loser and says that she stands a better chance of winning and she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So she goes out there to try and make the match, but Mike runs past her and says, no, I can do this. Rough Ryder wins. The announcer said, here is your winner in under a minute.
I loved that. I was like, ooh, salt. Ooh.
Really made me laugh. In under a minute, Zack Ryder and Maria says that she should have let her do it. And her unborn child, not our unborn child, my unborn child would have had a better chance in that match.
Which gave me an idea for my fantasy 2K creation series. I'm going to have a giant actual fetus wrestle people.
Wow.
I think it'd be great.
Jesse and fetus.
Yes.
Where do you stand on this Mike and Maria stuff?
Well, they're on TV.
Yeah.
It's an angle that seems to... so again, half full. I hope this isn't simply humiliating punishment for the fact that they signed these huge deals. And then she said, oh, by the way, I'm with child.
Yeah.
After she had kind of done that before. I hope that's not the case. I seem to think that it's giving them something to do, which is more than a lot of people can say. I actually really like the approach with Maria, how she, the whole female empowerment and it's my child, that kind of stuff. I kind of dig that. I'm a big Kanellis fan, and I really like what they were doing on 205 Live with him. It was a bit more serious, But this, honestly, it just feels like they picked up where maybe they would have been going back when they had that big debut years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it, I think, as long as it doesn't bury. I'm not a big person to say, one angle can bury a single, guy or girl or whatever. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with seeing where it's going to go. Because it seems like it's probably going to go somewhere, and as long as it doesn't end up burying both of them, although they're probably going to make a ton of money over the next 5 years, I'm a wait and see type with this.
Fair enough. I think that's I'm kind of waiting to see where it's going. I'm not digging it thus far,
Yeah.
but I'm very much curious because I think that this can lead to a much meaner Mike Kanellis, and that's the thing is if Kanellis can get a push off the back of it, then perhaps the ends justify the means.
Right, yeah.
But at the moment, it's not my favorite part of Raw each week.
Yeah. I think they're a fantastic duo. I really do. And so when I see them actually having a storyline that, you can always tell when Vince is into something, and it might end up burying him, but at least you're on something that the boss seems to like. And I think, I don't know. Hopefully Heyman likes Mike Kanellis and likes Maria, and they'll do something good with it. I have a hard time being optimistic with WWE, but I hope it does good.
The club took on Lucha House Party in 6-man tag action. Ricochet ran down to pull AJ off the apron and it's time to attack the club, which is the officials came down to pull him off. So the match didn't get restarted. It just continued. And the club beat them up and won. Buddha Doom, calf crusher by Styles for a Kalisto tap out, and then AJ wouldn't let go of the hold.
Oh, he had that in deep.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I like AJ bringing back the calf crusher.
Yeah.
We were saying this in the Extreme Rules review. I really like him using the Styles Clash off the second rope as like his big move.
Yeah.
Because the phenomenal forearm still feels like a bit of a baby face thing.
Sure. Yeah.
So having this like new repertoire in there is like, this is my heel AJ persona.
Oh, I love when they do that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I like that this version of heel AJ just seems to be a bit more vicious. You know, it's like we've seen heel AJ before where he was just sort of cocky. I want to see vicious, you know, and that's why I'm thinking, man, if they have them all just be like pit bulls and then you throw Balor in there, oh man.
It's got to happen.
Yeah.
Not Renee Young was in the ring to bring, so she was backstage to bring out Seth Rollins. And yeah, he said that it sucks to see Brock holding a title that he doesn't deserve. And then he said he doesn't know if Becky Lynch is showing up tonight. And then the very next segment, Becky Lynch came out.
Did not Renee, did she even ask him about Becky or did he just say that?
I think he just said that.
He looks, dude, they need to stop with this. And I think it feels like last night feels like maybe we've seen the last of Seth and Becky just always sharing the screen together.
So, yeah.
It makes her look uncomfortable because she's like, I'm in the middle of a huge, massive push. I don't need this dead weight relationship crap. And he just is geeky as all get out with this stuff. So him just saying, oh, and as far as Becky's concerned, it's like, I didn't ask that. Yeah, but I love her so much. Nobody wants to see that.
Then we got the women's four-way match that we covered earlier. And then we got Randy Orton cutting a promo saying he's got unfinished business with Lesnar. And Miz TV with Dolph Ziggler. Apparently Dolph requested this, and he requested this so he could have a pop at Miz saying, hey, I want to know if the rumors about you are true. Are you really a company man? Has all this ass-kissing really got you anywhere? Are you just happy to be here? He says, you're not even booked on the pay-per-view. And Miz said, hey, I'd rather not be booked on the pay-per-view than lose to Kevin Owens in 17 seconds. And Dolph's like, I hold my hand up. That loss was, quote, Goldberg bad. But then
it's a good line, which is a good line.
A good line. Then it's like calling Miz a sellout and said that he's just hawking merchandise for cities he's not even from. He's everything wrong with the business. Brought his wife into it. Miz attacked Dolph and they had a sort of, a stare-off. I am stunned that this company is pushing a Miz-Dolph Ziggler feud in 2019.
Yeah.
But here we are.
So you're going to hate me for this one. And I even hate myself a little bit for this one. I actually like this segment. And I'll tell you what.
It's the most I've liked Dolph. Actually, I really liked his first promo when he came back.
I didn't even like that.
Oh, no, I loved that promo. It should have been me promo. The first, it should have been me promo. I thought it was great. But I thought this was the best Dolph's been.
Okay, good. Because I did too. And it was quick. And I liked that he wasn't doing his whiny voice. Here's the thing. When I hear his music, when I see him, I go, ugh, I groan. I want him to go away. He's been just around doing the exact same thing forever. But when he came out and he sat down with Miz, number one, you guys are probably Miz fans at this point,
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, we like Miz too.
Miz is awesome.
Yeah, Miz is great. And so now that their dynamic has changed, because they have a bit of history. And now that the dynamic between their characters have changed a little bit, people love Miz, and Dolph came out, and instead of overdoing it and overselling it like he has been doing, he was very matter of fact about it. He just came down to run him down with points, and heels are always best when they make good points.
When they're right.
And he was kind of right a little bit here, and he wasn't overbearing with it. And it was a very quick segment. And the second he said wife, Miz jumped. I thought as far as Dolph and Miz go, it's like, man, do I really want to see a Dolph-Miz match? The last one they had when it was that retirement match like a couple of years ago, we were there for that. It's a damn good match, I don't know if I want to see the next 3 weeks of this till SummerSlam. I don't know if I want to see this match at SummerSlam. This segment alone, I was on board with. I was surprisingly on board with it.
I think that's completely fair enough. As I said, actually, at the bare bones, I did like this because I really liked Dolph in this segment.
Sure,
and I thought Miz was very good in it as well. I think Miz actually coming out with a T-shirt that said "Long Island is awesome."
Yeah.
and it came out with that, and I was like, "Damn, Miz, that's bad. Like,
Yeah,
that's really
right.
bad." So then when Dolph comes out and points at it, he says, "Like, you're not even from here. You're not
Yeah.
even from California.
Yeah.
You're from Ohio."
Yeah.
and like I think the points that he was making were excellent. Mm-hmm. But my issue I've got is it's going to lead to a Dolph Miz match.
I
that
know.
have literally zero interest in
I know.
seeing. Yeah, and so that's where I come in with the negativity side of things, is that I have next to no interest in seeing a match between these two.
You know what might have gotten me into this maybe is if Dolph versus Kofi at the pay-per-view was a Stomping Grounds?
Stomping Grounds, yeah. Was that Stomping Grounds?
Was that the cage match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that was a good match, but that match was a turd.
I didn't see it.
was
I was
boring.
away.
It was bad.
It was boring. It was the worst. It was boring. It
Oh,
wasn't
man.
just it wasn't just a bad match. It was a boring match. It was a cage match.
Oof.
And-
Difficult to do.
Yeah, they had a better match, I think, on SmackDown or Raw, the next one. But maybe if like Dolph had a string of like, wow, holy crap, good matches, because he can put on good matches.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd be more into this. But you're right. I kind of don't want to see that at this point.
We then got probably the greatest tease, like ad break tease, is that Drake is getting ready to consummate his marriage. It's like, will this guy shag his wife? Keep tuning in.
Oh, it was great.
Don't touch that
Yeah.
dial.
Yeah.
And then we got Drake's wife getting into like saying she's getting into something more comfortable and suggests that he does the same. Bear in mind, this is in like a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
And Drake says, "Oh, I'm ready." And he takes off his robe and he goes, "Daddy's ready."
Yeah.
And he's wearing tidy whities and his 24/7 title belt.
Yeah.
I thought this was hilarious.
But at first, the great thing was at first, because it's a frontal shot, you don't, and his tidy whities were pulled down a little bit, so it looked like conceivably he could just be wearing the title.
it was a very clever
Which was
reveal.
great, yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
And then there's a knock at the door, but it's champagne. Drake appeared like he was literally ready to explode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he was premature. Like he
Yeah,
was like, if this
yeah.
doesn't happen now, it's
Yeah.
not happening at all.
Yeah, Smash was gonna happen.
And then it turns out that the waiter that brought the champagne in was a ref. And he's like, "I recognize you." And the guy slowly revealed he was a ref.
Yeah.
And so he starts freaking out, flipping up the mattress. to
Somebody's
find
here!
Truth.
Somebody's here!
And Truth comes out, gets a near fall, and Drake stands up, going,
Yeah.
"Two, it was two, it
Yeah.
was two." Bear
Yeah.
in mind, he's in his pants at this point. And Truth throws him on the bed and pins him and
On
wins
the bed.
title.
Yeah.
And you've just got Drake's wife screaming the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought this was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh no, I think it was fantastic. I think my only complaint, this bums me out to no degree, is that if Vince McMahon hadn't gotten mad for stupid reasons at EC3, and they had allowed the Drake Maverick EC3 sort of partnership to blossom,
Yeah.
there could have been some sort of EC3 involved in this in some way.
Yeah, you're
I don't
right.
know in what way. But that's the pairing that I want to see. And EC3 would be perfect in situations like this, where he's like this Adonis-looking guy, and Drake is this little tiny, but wants so bad to finally consummate his marriage. I don't know what the story could be. Could have been great with EC3 there. This was hilarious. I loved it.
It was so funny. And they cut back to the commentators, and Corey says he won with a small package.
Which, you know what? Say what you will about WWE commentary. Because they're forced to be so corporate so often, when they break, it's awesome.
It's so good because
It's great.
both Cole and Renee,
Yeah.
they proper corpse.
Yeah.
They probably like.
They did. Yeah. Yeah. When Corey and Renee are best when they're acting kind of like school kids.
Yeah.
But like also brother and sister. And they pick at each other a little bit. And when it's just silly and Corey has a good one-liner or Renee does, it's great. It's really good.
And the look on Corey's face when he realized that he could say that line.
Yes.
And he himself was like giggling
Yes.
before he said.
Oh, that's the best.
There was a moment actually. I forgot to cover this, but I missed it. Someone pointed it out to me, and I went back to check it out. When Naomi was making her entrance, they were talking about her coat, and Renee got a little bit hot about the coat because she loves the coats. And then Corey starts going off about how great Naomi is. Like, she's a great competitor. She was former SmackDown Women's Champion. She just needs to get some wins together, but she's an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
Renee clearly hadn't been listening, because then she was like, "Why are you burying her? Like, she's a great athlete. She's a former champion."
Oh, man.
And he's like, "You just need to give her a chance." And Corey's like, "I literally said that 12 seconds ago."
Oh my God. I can't hate on that, because that's me and Larson so often. He'll just be talking and I'll just be like, yeah.
But he says, like, yeah, you need to listen. She goes, sorry, I'm still like hot up on the Coke comment that you made. And he's just like, all right, Byron. And then Renee, under her breath, just went, you dick.
I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
I didn't hear it. Someone pointed out to me on Twitter, I think it was Jesse Amadeus, I think that's his name, said like, did Renee really call Corey a dick on commentary? And actually, a lot of people said apparently I don't know if this is exactly what she said, but there's a moment during the tag match, the Roman Undertaker tag match, where Shane is being beaten up by Undertaker, and Renee goes, Shane's effed. But actually, it sounds like she says, like, it's isolation. It does sound like she just goes, he's effed.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. There's recaps of it on Twitter you can find. Speaking of recaps, we got the recap of the ESPYs where Roman won his on the red carpet to show it's not a real award.
Wow.
So hokey. And then we got, I loved this, the cross-branded All-Star Top 10 Battle Royal to crown a new number one contender. They called Cesaro the dark horse in this match, so he was the first out.
Yeah.
It's a real shame. He ran wild for a bit, did his uppercut party, but
yeah,
I was gutted that he was the first person out.
How was the because I didn't watch the Aleister Black match.
Oh, it was great.
Was it good? Okay.
So good.
Ooh.
It was one of those matches where in defeat Cesaro looked just as good.
That's
coming
awesome.
Out of it.
I gotta check that out.
I would say of the matches to check out, it's that, the Roman tag match.
Okay, yeah.
AJ Ricochet, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
I mean, Pete wasn't a big fan of it, but I really enjoyed it. And Braun Lashley.
I saw some clips from that. Yeah, it looks great.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So stupid. But I loved every second of it. Yeah, but I was scared that Cesaro was out first here because I thought he might get a bit of something. Lashley was then out by Strowman. Big E and Strowman had a stare down, which, as you said, was so cool.
Love that.
Yeah. It's one of those pairings you don't think you might really see, and then you see it and you're like, I want to see more.
I'm ready for it, and the crowd's ready for it.
And when he lifted him up for the big ending, the crowd were on their feet.
Yeah, they were.
And then Randy had an RKO party. He hit the RKO on Big E, I think, and Sammy eliminated him. Then he RKO'd Sammy, and then he RKO'd Roman. Sammy got eliminated. Mysterio got eliminated. Strowman, Rollins, and Reigns then all ganged up on Corbin. Strowman ran wild. Reigns speared Rollins by accident. Rollins eliminated both Roman and Strowman. And then Randy, who'd been sort of punched out of the ring, got back in, tried to throw Seth out, but Seth hung on, hit the stomp, and threw Orton out for the win. As you say, 7 minutes. I thought it definitely could have gone longer.
It was a really fun 7 minutes.
Fun 7 minutes.
It should have been. Now, honestly, it should have been 30 minutes. It should have been the final half hour. There was so much story that you could have told in a longer span of time, and it could have been just as entertaining. That being said, maybe why mess with a good thing? I thought it was a perfectly booked.
Oh yeah,
Battle Royal, All-Star, 10 people, whatever.
Once more with feeling.
Last time.
Cross-branded All-Star Top 10 Battle Royal. So wordy.
Yeah, that's
and then afterwards, Heyman cut a promo, said that Rollins has earned the right to be beaten and victimized by Lesnar. Rollins told Heyman to shut up and said that SummerSlam's going to look a lot like WrestleMania with Rollins standing tall.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fine little promo.
Yeah.
I like Rollins. I'm a fan of his. And I thought the main event was a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. It was good stuff.
Overall, I thought the show was good. I'd have given it a 3 out of 5.
All right.
I thought there wasn't enough like good wrestling on the show to make me go like, oh man, what a great show that was. And aside from the Bray Wyatt re-debut, I don't think there was like a big killer angle on the show to really push it over into sort of a 4 out of 5 type scenario.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I could say 3 out of 5.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the show, man?
I think that until this ridiculous 2 out of 3 no wrestling during commercials, like I want to go back to 25-minute matches. Not like I know they did one on this, but it was like the elimination. I want just a good singles 25-minute. Like we're in the middle of the G1. I want to see WWE's G1.
Yeah,
I want to see stuff like that.
They'll never do a tournament.
I know.
Randy, what's going on up in them super chats?
A lot. So
we'll try and fire through this. We went long on that Raw review.
Through these, yes.
Lightning round.
Zack Icon Lindner says catering to commercials ruined so much.
Oh, it really does. It really
true.
does.
Very true.
Abram Penna says, is it Cedric Alexander or Cedric Alexander? Cedric Alexander or Cedric Alexander?
Cedric Alexander, I'd have thought. That's how I would say it. How would you say it?
Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Anton H says Schoolboy was the most protected move in WWE until Raw. Crazy Lewis says, Randy, you changed my name on Discord. I no longer want to be called Lars Sullivan's butt plug. I did change it to that. He probably said something which made me change it.
Randy. Abuse of power.
Wow.
I know.
Andy
Jesse
Natson.
Venable says, going to Raw in 2 weeks with will the champ be there too? So I suppose that's the week after the Raw reunion.
Yeah, I imagine so. I think that Lesnar's going to be on every show now until SummerSlam.
Yeah. Kay Houston says, did someone say AW Women Wrestling where they just know their tag partner is Asian and is wearing a skirt thing but not sure? I still love AW.
She got a concussion. Yeah, I don't think that's fair.
Yeah. B and Sam Lee, thank you very much for your donations. RJ Calmeron says, many preferred Randy versus Brock at SummerSlam. Thoughts on that?
I wasn't huge on how it ended for sure. That was sort of during that string of Brock boring matches where it was just suplex, and then at the very end he just starts annihilating his brain.
Yeah.
I wasn't huge on that.
No, I'm glad that it's Rollins over Randy, if only because I'd prefer it to be Randy Kofi at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I just don't want Randy. Joe Ray says, this Raw right here, I'm not sure how to feel about it. Everything was kind of cool. Everything was also kind of meh. I'm not sure how to feel.
That's Heyman for you.
That's WWE for you.
Jobber JJ says, I had a blast with the 24/7 championship. Funniest thing of 2019, and nothing will top this.
Give him time. Drake's still got the... Oh, no, Drake hasn't got the belt anymore.
No, he doesn't.
I'm gutted that Drake hasn't got the belt now.
Yeah.
Truth must be a 9-time champion, something like that now.
All right. I mean, you're the website guy. You're keeping track of it.
Louis is actually. He's on holiday. Jobber JJ says... what I just told you, he said. Ronnie Jones says, nothing but thank you for your donation, as does Cesar Vasquez.
Thank you.
Pan Crateron says, hello from Greece, guys. Check out ZMAC and First and only Greek pro wrestling promotion. Even Lesnar shows up more than Ollie lately.
Wow.
Yeah, Ollie's... Well, prior to Ollie going on holiday, he also hadn't shown up for a couple of shows because he had some business stuff to attend to.
Oh, okay.
So people are now referred to him as Ollie Lesnar because he only... He only shows up for the big important shows.
Well, you got to appreciate them while you have them.
CJ Poirier says, with SummerSlam on the horizon, do you think we could see another shake-up of the brands, or will we keep the rosters the same and keep pushing and failing to push the wildcard rule?
I don't think the wildcard rule's a thing anymore.
They don't mention it.
No. I think it's literally just they go across any shows that they want, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to do a shake-up, though, because unless Heyman and Bischoff are going to have them as completely separate brands, although going by this show, that's not the case, then you don't really need to shake up the brands. Like, it doesn't change anything.
They might wait till after SummerSlam to, like, reset and do... Because there was that one rumor where they said they wanted to do, like, an actual on-air draft that's like a shoot draft.
Oh, really?
I have no idea where that source came from, so I might be pulling out of my ass. I don't know. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case.
No, I think with like the power that the networks have, I almost can't see them doing like a big shoot thing because USA will be pissed if they don't have Roman.
Yeah.
And Fox will then be pissed if they don't have Roman.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Apparently they did mention that Drake's wife is called Renee Michelle on commentary a couple of times. So.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Zachary
cool.
Marsh says, Cultaholic going in Raw. I'm hoping for In Between the Ropes next.
I mean, inside the ropes, I'm assuming.
That's what I meant.
Oh, yeah, good one.
It says ITR and I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, you were on Straight to Hell recently.
Yes, I was on Straight to Hell.
Was that filmed at StarCast?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, because you were talking about Goldberg, Undertaker before this.
Hadn't happened yet. Things
yet.
move so quickly in the world of wrestling.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a blast. I loved it.
Yeah.
Sparks says, even though Taker is only allowed to use the tombstone, I feel like when he finally retires, Bray Wyatt should inherit the finisher. Sister Abigail is nice, however, it's more of a signature than a finisher. But then again, I mean, the Revival won with a flapjack, so what can you say?
Yeah, no, I like Sister Abigail as the finisher for and I think he's got it over as his finisher.
I'm a big fan of it too.
Yeah, I think changing it up now would be... I don't think there's any need to change it up.
Yeah.
Michael Lacroix says, Steve, I love you.
Oh, I love you.
Is Finn versus Bray good, especially now?
Oh, yeah. Are you to get the Fiend over, beat the Demon? Woo, that'd be huge.
Yeah, it'd be massive.
Matthew Bishop echoes what I think, says, how is Natalya still such a poor promo? Or just a poor... I don't like Natalya.
You're not a Natalya fan,
I really
are you?
don't like
She's not
Natalya.
the flashiest, for sure.
Yeah. But she is solid in ring.
You could like sleep, have a nap between the time it takes her to do a discus clothesline. Ant the Great says, should they bring back the draft?
You're going to bring up all the Natalia fans now because they get really hot when we don't put her over.
I'll have a look in a minute. Ant the Great says, should they bring back the draft instead of the shake-up for Fox, or do they need authority figures for that? Also, do I need a new wallet? I need a new wallet. Any ideas?
I go to WrestleTalk.com. Oh no, it's ridge.com/WrestleTalk, I think is the actual thing. I didn't do the promo videos. But yeah, no, go to the ridge.com/WrestleTalk and get yourself a Ridge wallet. Because look, I've got one here and they're super cool.
Let me see. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
It's fancy, right?
That is fancy.
And it's got blocking technology, so people can't just like steal your money from your cars using like contactless stuff.
Well, I know where I'm going to go for my next wallet.
Absolutely. There was a question there as well, though, wasn't there?
There was. Do we need authority figures if we're going to do a draft?
Yeah, I think you'd need authority figures to do a draft. And I don't know if Heyman and Bischoff are going to be authority figures.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they aren't. Because we're the authority.
Trey Saunders says, Steve, you're taking this wildcard rule too far.
You know, man, I'm a big fan of it. I'm going to be in everybody's videos. Get used to it. It's here. I'm a genius.
Angel Perez, who we mentioned earlier, says, just want to say it's my birthday today, as we did give you a little shout out. So happy birthday to Angel, or Angel, possibly, as it looks like you are a lady. Kevin says, it feels like WWE is blaming fans for not liking the product. Yeah, sorry, guys. Definitely our fault.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
Yeah.
They put it on the fans and not on the people who they should put it on.
Yeah.
Timothy Platt says, last night was my first exposure to the Street Profits, and it will be the last time without my TV on mute. Love you guys, though. Respect from DC.
It was not their best segment.
It wasn't.
And I don't think this and the one they did at Extreme Rules wasn't that good either. That's two on the bounce now.
A lot of people were getting a bit like, just shut up.
I know, and I don't want to say it because I like them too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I don't like their segments. Every time a segment finishes, I'm like, that was good. It's like when I went to see The Phantom Menace, and I came back, that was good.
Yeah.
That was
Great
good,
film.
man.
The pod racing is wonderful.
I think I actually even said those words exactly. I was like, the pod racing was good though, right? Like we all enjoyed the pod
the
racing
lightsaber stuff at the
and the
end was
lightsaber
great,
stuff was
yeah.
good. And then I went back to see it again, and I was like, no, I was just too excited. That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah, you and I were the exact same thing because I was already in college by the time that came out, and I was like, that movie was great.
Yeah. No, it's good. I was too excited. That's why I didn't really enjoy it. I need to go back and see it again.
Jar Jar Binks is a great
I saw it 5 times. No, I saw it 7 times in the cinema, actually.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, each time. Well, there was a moment when someone told me, ETs are in the movie. And I was like, I've got to go see it again now.
Well, on
Go see
Tatooine.
the ETs.
Yeah.
No, they're in the
Senate
council.
Council
Yeah,
thing,
the
yeah.
Senate Council. Yeah.
I think the one walks past in Tatooine as well. Ben Greenwood.
Jowie, you racist.
Yeah, they're all the same. All aliens are the same to me. Ben Greenwood, bad predictor, says the Swaft Friendos collab I never knew I needed.
Hey, man.
Well, there you go.
Judas Black says Lacey over Becky. Becky is boring and overrated.
Ooh.
Hey, I mean, you're not alone. One of our Patreon pledge hammers is a
Judas.
huge fan of Lacey Evans and is not a fan of Becky Lynch in the least.
Well,
those people, they don't
everyone has
exist.
bad opinions.
Yeah.
Tony Tance
Ranting.
says, what do you think is a direction for McIntyre?
Well, I mean, I thought facing Taker at SummerSlam. Like, I would have put money on that it was going to be Drew Taker at SummerSlam. And it doesn't look like it is now. Because
It's gotta be. What do you think? I mean, speculate then. What do you think it's going to be?
I don't know, but like if I was doing if I was doing Taker Drew at SummerSlam, I wouldn't have had Cedric Alexander beat him on TV.
Yeah, I mean, you can have him another loss next week and then go home because that's when Taker might show up. You know, you lost your soul, Drew.
I just need one more soul, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I can quit when I want.
Like Drew hits rock bottom and then he beats Taker at SummerSlam to
But I think if it was me doing Drew versus Taker at SummerSlam, I would have started that build on last night's show.
Sure,
Have him
of
cut
course.
a fiery promo on
Yeah.
Taker saying like, I would have beaten you if it wasn't for Roman.
That's what I figured.
Me and you one-on-one at SummerSlam. Lay down the challenge. I'm not sure Drew can then look that great next week being like, it's me and you.
I'm going to prove it by beating.
Yeah.
Wilson Simon says, my favorite Raw of all time. Why are people so negative? Bray returned. Becky looked like Becky before Mania. Cedric getting pushed. Ricochet, a face, is standing up for himself and attacking the heel. I love this show.
Well, good.
Good. Absolutely. It's good.
Good for you. Like I said, everyone's going to know. Hartley Reaper says, Fight for the Fallen was better than Raw and Extreme Rules. And also, why is Brock champion again? He's going to run off with the Universal title. Shout out from Harty Holler if you hear me. I don't know what that means.
Holler if you hear me.
Harty.
Scott Steiners.
Come on, holler if you hear me.
Yeah, holler if you hear me.
Oh.
I think we're going to get the Universal title on TV until SummerSlam, and Seth's going to win it back.
Yep, Skin Trade says, as a former Going in Raw Live regular, I was wondering if Steve gotten to show his family where he lived as a kid. RAF Chicksands near me.
No, sadly, no. It was one of the things I really wanted to do, and then it turns out, so they, just very quickly, where I grew up, with the Air Force base I lived on, there was like this haunted mansion.
Whoa.
And they do tours of this place. And the weekend that I'm not here, the weekends that I'm not here, they did the tours.
Oh.
The weekend that I am here, so, and it's like an intelligence base, so like they're not gonna let, like it's in British hands now.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna let us. I'm not gonna be able to do it. So it sucks. Yeah.
Jer Persona says, I love it when different nations are working together for better wrestling. I love Steve. Lovely boy. Support Growing in Raw. # lovely times with the boys.
Oh, thank you. Very
Yeah,
much.
we like a lovely time with the boys.
We do.
Who
Forever 314 says, as boring as that Fatal 4-Way match was, there's still a line between general criticism and just being idiots.
Certainly being rude.
Yeah.
It's a gray area.
It's a grey area. Yeah.
You know?
I honestly, there's never going to be a correct answer in that.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Adam, come on, your surname is difficult. Adam Chojnicki,
Obviously
hopefully.
his fault.
Yeah. Good morning, fellas and Swaff Nation. Always miss the live stream because of work and can never super chat, but not today. Here's a few bucks and welcome back, Bray.
All right.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's good to have Bray back.
Pete's #1 fan, Dom Bennett. I think this might be two Pete's #1 fans. I'm going to have a fight. Heyo, just some more love and appreciation just before I start my midnight shift. Once again, you guys are awesome. So are you, Pete.
Thank you
#1
very
fan,
much.
Dom Bennett.
You're awesome.
Hartley Reaper says, rather than get a 12-pack for $10 from, rather get a 12-pack for $10 from Walmart than, I guess, the beer we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's how far we've gone to the show. Wilson Simon says,
or go to beer52.com.
P.S. Love you guys. Thanks for helping me through rough times. Well, we're very glad that we can help you.
Thank you
Anyone
so- yeah.
who's
Those are
going through rough
those are my
times.
favorite comments when
I
somebody's
know.
going
Yeah.
through a downtime and they want to hear some laughter and they come to the
We
show.
get all of those emails on the podcast, and it's
Oh, I
just
love
genuinely really, really lovely.
I will never turn heel on you. Tom Havel says, how do you think they're going to portray Bray's split personality on screen without coming across as hokey poop?
I think, and I kind of speculated this on a previous episode, where Firefly Funhouse is the backstage Bray, and
yeah.
the Fiend is the wrestler.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's not going to wrestle in like the cardigan or anything like that.
Right.
It's just that, Firefly Funhouse will be his domain, and then he wrestles as the Fiend.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
Josephine Lee Madalena says, promo meant Becky is lonely and needy without love.
Okay. Oh, right. To explain the weirdness of it. Yeah. I'll
Valentine.
be honest. I mean, I'm glad you tried it. I'm glad you explained it, but I still don't fully
I mean,
get.
yeah, you can try to figure it out, but it's still kind of awkward.
Yeah. Valentine's Tube says, which is a good name of kind. AW makes me love wrestling. WWE doesn't. Sports entertainment is garbage and pro wrestling isn't. By the way, Sunny Kiss is Sunny Kiss OTT is TMI. Don't need it in a match.
He's too much information.
Yeah, I guess because of the character he
Because he's the
portrays,
character
a
he
bit
portrays, yeah.
much for Valentine's Tube.
Oh yeah, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yep.
It's not my opinion.
True Dill says, I wanted to see Orton
Thanks.
win the Battle Royal.
Sorry, who?
Orton.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people saying Orton, but I'm glad it was Rollins. Although, unless it was Cesaro. Can you imagine if Cesaro won?
Crowd would have gone crazy.
Crowd would have gone like bonkers
But
for
would
it.
never have won against
And
Brock.
But that doesn't matter. You'd have had Brock Cesaro at SummerSlam.
That'd have been a killer
Yes,
match.
please, mate.
I wanted to see Big E. Put all the titles on the New Day. Just give them all.
Hoovering them all
Just
up.
so he can eventually turn heel. Max Montgomery says, "Oh my God, Steve here on WrestleTalk. This is too sweet."
Too sweet. Do you too sweet?
Oh, yes.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, someone actually asked for that earlier, so there you go.
Larson doesn't do that.
Richard Townsend says, "Love to two of our favorites from the Married Marks."
Oh, it's the Married Marks.
Married Marks. Thanks, guys.
I
I want to come on your show again.
Oh, come on,
I haven't
man.
even been invited to their show. What the hell?
Oh, man.
They're like friends, too.
Yeah.
What
you
the
know?
heck?
No, I've
Sorry.
had like multiple offers. To
Sorry
go on.
in advance if I butcher your name, but thank you for your double donation. Chittaranjan Srinivas Swaminathan, who's from Sweden. So hello to you. Matthew Bacon, which is a much easier to pronounce name. Is Steve an attempt to counter Tom at Cultaholic? Think you should try and pinch Tom and the title. Would look good on the table for a review. Thoughts? I don't know who Tom is.
He was a guest host while they were at StarCast?
Yes, and he won their title.
Yeah, and then he said that I don't know what the result was, but based maybe on the predictions of Extreme Rules, he was either going to lose it to Pacitti or one of the others, or he was going to throw it in a river somewhere.
Right.
I think. I got that from a tweet. I have a hard time keeping up with everybody.
I just see he is someone that Pacitti does not like. That is the extent of what I know.
Tony Pentakainen says, have you ever seen any Finnish wrestling besides Ludwig Borger? I'd love to see some Finn in the WWE again someday, but I bet they'd book him as a foreign heel type of guy, but so hyped about Bray Wyatt. It'd be difficult because Finns and most Scandinavians are really nice. So it's quite hard to book them as evil people.
I was going to say, and Alistair Black's Dutch. He's not being booked as an evil foreign heel.
He's not Scandinavian.
No, but my point is that
okay.
not all heels, not all foreigners have to be
I know.
heels.
It's just a lot of people seem to think Holland is, Netherlands is up there.
Are the Viking Raiders heels? Because they're Vikings.
But they're American.
But they have long hair and war paint. Duff's 101, one of them is. Duff's 101 says, so who wants to explain Bailey Sting to Sting? Oh, we don't have time. Basically, a guy called
Sean Turner
pitched an idea that Bailey was going to come back and become her own Sting character, which would be all moody with face paint, and Sting would be her manager.
I'm not sure if Sting, but she would basically be like, that was her heel turn.
And she would come out with the bat.
She would do the Sting heel turn.
I'm going to write that down for We Book Raw.
Wacky inflatable crows.
I love it. I love it all.
Someone sent me a tweet today with their character creation of their alternative pitch for a heel turn, and it was Kyrie Kane.
Oh,
that's great.
And you just had, you have Kyrie Sane in Kane's gear.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like 98 gear as well.
Holy moly. Have you seen that the Kabuki Warriors are finally getting their shots tonight?
Yeah, it's happening tonight.
Oh, is that happening tonight?
Yeah. Casey Svakowski says, I really don't want Demon versus Bray. Would be cool, but waste of Demon undefeated streak.
It's a way to put over the Fiend.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's huge.
Yeah,
because it's kind of like it's got to the point where as soon as the Demons book, we're like, well, we know who's going to win.
We know who's going to win.
So, but now it'll be fun. Adam Hunter says, if they do the Finn versus Bray, they need to rebuild Finn. Otherwise, the match means nothing. Finn doesn't have enough momentum to put Bray over strong.
Oh, but the Demon does.
Yeah.
Semantics.
Robert Banker says, thoughts of Cormier coming to WWE for Lesnar?
Not into it. I like Cormier. I think he seems like a really good guy.
Well, they were talking to him doing commentary as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, on Fox.
And that'd be great. I would actually love that. But man, I want wrestlers. I want pro wrestlers. People who've come up pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Hartley Reaper says, when I hear Ricochet, I think old cartoon on WB4 Kids. It must be an American thing. Mucha Lucha.
We've got an American here. He can Steve help us out.
I would have piped up. I know what Well, I'm old, so I don't know.
But I remember Mucha Lucha. That was a thing when I was little. Mucha Lucha. Also, finally got a vacation for years of hard work. First beer down. Well, good for you.
We're going for beers in a bit.
Oh, yeah.
We are. Well, I'll have a water. Nathan Michael says, what do you think of changing the 2-fall rule into the first fall must be a pin and the second fall a submission, or the first fall a 2-count pin, then the second fall that's a bit much, Nathan, I think.
Yeah.
Don't give them any ideas.
We're basically going to move into like a round system. It's going to be like the Grand Championship on Impact.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tyler Bailey says, keep up the good work. You too, Tyler. Fiend Kicks says, why didn't Bray lay out the top guys from both brands, then look up at the ramp and say, let me in, and to a shocked Bray, Brock and Heyman, too much all at once?
Yeah, I think
it sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot. Also, give Bray a match that he can win. In his first feud, and look really, really good.
The Demon is like almost above title. It's above every title, but like maybe the Universal title beating the Demon. That's huge.
Jobber JJ says, I'm sick of the women's division taking their frustration on us, the fans. We don't book the show. Tweet where it's our fault is tiring and lame.
Yeah, but they can't blame them, can they?
And there's only one of them. It's only Alexa, so it's not all
Naomi
of them.
did as well.
Naomi who did a face.
Perfect impression.
Yeah.
Great
Thank
for
you very
audio.
much. Glow. Aaron Schaffner, thank you for your double donation. Nate dropped surname, says, how do they get John Cena to work with Luke?
I don't know how you can see me right now, to be honest with you.
People are saying that, like, no, that can't be John Cena. I can see him.
Exactly.
Hating Everyone says, are you guys concerned as I am that Samoa Joe is never going to be WWE/Universal Champion? Have WWE booked him into the ground, or is there still hope? We should do a story about that. How many times do you think it is now that Joe has failed to win the top title?
Oh, I forgot all the AJ stuff. That was like 4 or 5. He had 2 with Brock. 6. I'm going to say 6. No, hang on. I'm going to say 8.
Correct, it is 8.
Oh, wow.
Good job.
Hating... no, we just did that one. Oh, yes, I have booked him into the ground, or there's still hope for him.
Anyone could be rebuilt.
Yeah.
I honestly think that he's one of those guys that, like, he always comes off as scary as crap. Doesn't matter how many times he loses.
A little injury now wouldn't do him too much harm. Then he can come back after SummerSlam and just kill everyone. Antonio Koo says, nothing to do with Raw, but who has a prettier dropkick, Kazuchika Okada or Randy Orton?
Okada, man.
That's got to be Okada.
Yeah.
Well, the real answer is Jeff Jarrett.
Or Killian Dane with his missile one. Zack Icon Lindner says, I hope you realise how boring this was live. As in the Raw, not this.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'll just leave right now then.
Adam Chornicki says, played a joke on my lady partner, but she caught on quick. She wasn't impressed, but I still celebrated like they got the best of her. It's the Cedric way.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Clubber Lang says, did Larson get a haircut?
I mean, Larson's got a way better beard.
He usually shaves his head as well, not as close as yours.
The running thing is that everyone that's bald is Luke.
Oh, yeah.
So Apollo Crews,
Baron Corbin
is the main one.
Okay. But really, as we all know, it's the Repo Man.
Yeah. And what's her face? That lady you look like, Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. Oh yeah, I'm a dead like.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
And Marek Hamsik, footballer. I'll show you that one afterwards because it's incredible. Adam Hunter says Finn joins the club and the Undisputed Era get called up and they feud for the next 6 months.
Oh, stop it! Just stop.
I know.
Stop right now.
That'd be great.
Stop right now.
Yeah, Finn takes 2 months out, comes back and just beats everyone up. Kay Houston says, guys, Joe attacked Balor first after the match. Apparently.
No,
did he?
I don't think that's true. But then my memory is terrible.
Yeah, shut up.
I mean, my notes were shot. I thought Finn won.
Hartley Reaper says the Demon lost to AJ Styles. No, he didn't.
I mean, the Demon, I think, lost in NXT, but he didn't. No, he wasn't the Demon.
No, because he wasn't. Yeah, he was.
No, I think he was Demon.
No, he hasn't lost.
Hang on. What was the? It was. Oh man, what was the pay-per-view?
Was it an Extreme Rules?
TLC 2017, because it was the year I got married. It was actually just.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2017. I'm getting there.
He lost, but he wasn't a demon. He was wearing light blue pants, I think.
No, Finn Balor defeated AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah, because AJ was a late replacement.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, AJ was the replacement for Bray.
Yeah.
Of course, he was. Speaking of nothing like that.
Trying to get one up on us.
No, next one
We've got Wikipedia on our side.
Peen Man says, Steve, what is your thing with follically challenged men? I think you have a type. This is the crossover of the century. Love to see you all together. Now I want Ollie Larson crossover. I'm loving this.
Oh, an Ollie Larson crossover.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
Josephine Lee Madalena says, I actually like the show. Couldn't wait to hear what you thought of it. Also, my last name is spelt with a long E. So Madalena. Sorry, thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, I think I've got that wrong on in Patreon as well.
Oh, well, we will always know from now on. Thank you, Josephine. Clubber Lang says, and can someone please teach Ollie how to pronounce Shingo Takagi's name properly? Kills me every time. Takagai?
Yeah, he says Takagai.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Takagi.
But no matter how many times you say him, getting him to learn Io Shirai's name. He kept saying Io, and I was like, dude, it's Io. And he was like, okay, yeah. And then he did another video where he said...
Io is one of Jupiter's moons, isn't it?
To this day, I still say, wait, is it Zia Lee or Zia Lee or Zia Brookside or Zia Brookside? I still don't know what it is.
What was the next one? John Pietro, Randy Datson's number 2 fan, says, can you ask Steve to do his Taker impression?
If you want me to do my Taker impression, I'll do my Taker impression and put you down like a dog.
Very good.
Swole Ricky says, did my 2 favorite podcasts just do a fusion dance?
I believe we did.
I believe we just
You do William Regal. He can do Taker for a bit.
Bloody won't.
Total Blurred says Bayley versus Charlotte is going to be the other women's match at Thingy.
They need to get on that then. They need to get
well,
that
we
on
got SmackDown tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do a elimination match with Mandy Rose,
Oh,
Charlotte.
Mandy Rose has at least got some momentum.
Mandy Rose,
Sarah
Charlotte,
Logan.
Yes.
Sarah Logan,
And Ruby
and
Riott.
Tamina.
Yeah.
Tamina's a great shout.
Oh, you were talking about Nia Jax yesterday. She's injured for ages. Lyle Valentine says, Luke just said he really likes dolphins. Or dolphin.
I think I said Dolph in this
Oh,
segment.
okay, because I think dolphin is gay slang.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Ken Ford
Maybe I
in
like that
JR voice. Oh my God, it's Steve. I'm not doing that. Oh my. No, that's
gonna say,
Well, you're going to try.
Oh my God.
By God, it's Steve here.
By God.
There's Larson right there.
By God, it's Steve.
Paul Silver says, I marked out when I saw Steve here, and my favorite two shows unite. Can't wait going in Raw return next week. Love you both.
Oh, man, it's gonna be great to have you back on the show. Man.
Spoiler, we're not going to be on it.
That you know
But
of.
yeah, I'm looking forward to having you back on the show.
I'm looking forward to being back on the show.
Vincent Millage says, I wish Renee Michelle would have pinned Drake under the covers and run away with his clothes.
Yeah, that would have also worked.
Yeah.
That would have really worked.
And then
I was hoping, really, I know we want to try and wrap this up because we've gone very long on this show, but I was really
Got a lot to
hoping
go.
it was going to. Sorry?
we've still got loads.
I'll go quick then. I thought there was going to be a case of that she would get into the bed and then she would turn the lights off and then he would say like, hang on, this doesn't feel like I was expecting it to. And then he'd turn the
Yeah.
lights on and Truth in the bed with
Oh,
them.
that'd be good.
That's how I thought they
That'd
would
be
do
good.
it and do the big reveal that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I thought it would.
Right, let's blitz. Tim Arndt says, by the time you read this, I'll be asleep. It's 1:15 a.m. in Oz, and I need to be up early. Just wanted to show my love for you all. Here's more money. So thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you very much.
KML says, is this the cross-branded All-Star Wrestle Ramble?
It is. It
oh
is.
man, it's the All-Stars.
Girish Bhatia, thank you very much for your generous donation. Sean Turner says, Steve, thoughts on Bailey Sting? You've already said he loves it.
Oh, I love it.
Ford
I'm gonna
says,
steal it.
so confused. Why is Larson got a British accent?
Because he upgraded.
There you go. Sean Turner again says, I'm going to miss Ollie's Omni Shane fart. Why did you go? He's coming back. Don't worry. He hasn't left.
I think he was talking about the Omni Shane.
Oh, okay. Good point, yeah. Girish Bhatia says, give me what I want. I promised you a gift if someone says Steve looks like John Cena. I mean, everyone has said it.
Lots of people said it.
I think I might give a prize to the millionth person. Sonny the Kid, thank you for your donation. And actually, you sent a message to your second one. Are we ever going to see Lashley versus Lesnar? Probably someday.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Although there's a
Like
report
you
that
said.
Lashley
I hope so.
also wants a break after SummerSlam, so...
I think to your point, you said earlier that like you get him away from the title and just have him do
Yeah.
like, sort of like these
Marquee,
big marquee
yeah.
matches. That's a great marquee.
Yeah, him
match.
and Lashley. Man, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Nate dropped surname, says, I wanted Black to beat the Demon at SummerSlam, but I'll settle for the Fiend, especially with Steve's booking idea.
Oh yes, please, mate.
Love it.
Astro J says, how about them giving Natalia Brock's UFC 100 promo? I don't know what that was.
Do you want to help us out here?
Was that where he was talking about drinking Budweiser instead of... I don't know.
Anyway, yes, good idea, Astro J. Trey Williams says, Demon Finn Balor must stay undefeated. Well, can't forever, because otherwise...
We said the same thing about The Undertaker.
Yeah, we did. Eddie, thank you for your donation. Tim Spulak says, Steve, I'm a mod now. Can I get you anything?
No, Tim, leave me alone.
Eddie says, Riddle versus Brock to make him an instant star, bro.
Yeah. I would love
it. I just do not think that's going to happen, but God, I'd love it. I love Riddle.
True Dill says Lashley versus Lesnar needs to happen, as we've just pointed out. New Tops 4 says, why does the guy on the right look like Cena? Sorry, Steve. Karen Nerds Out, thank you for your
Karen!
donation.
Karen, she's
she's-
NXT superfan, Karen.
Oh,
She's going in Raw as Karen.
oh, that
Yeah.
Karen.
We used to
yeah.
call her, when she was one of our patrons, she was the queen of NXT.
Oh, yeah.
right.
She's in like every single episode.
Yeah, she's great.
Brucifer Figueroa says, which is a wonderful name, you guys are great, the only show I'm subscribed to. I don't know which one he means. Keep up the great work. The neighbor to the beast, Brucifer 667.
Although if you're not subscribed to Going in Raw, go and do that now.
Yeah, do that. We'll put a link somewhere. Scyther versus everyone says, Steve, version 1 Hardy was our gold. WrestleTalk aren't familiar. Would you be excited for that to return? You guys should catch up on VO1 Hardy's videos. Seriously.
Yeah, this was a question yesterday. It said, would you rather see a return of V1 Hardy or Woken Hardy? And I said, like, V1 Hardy was when I was not watching wrestling, so I didn't really have a lot of nostalgic
I think he was
towards
doing
it.
a lot of like early internet type graphics.
Yeah, it was and it was like stop start video.
Yeah,
like buffering.
I'd be fine. I'd be fine with that. I like different stuff. I like not new stuff, but yeah. I mean, we've seen what they want to do with the Woken stuff, and it's not nearly the level that I was hoping it was going to be. I wanted a lot more stuff filmed at the Hardy compound, and they didn't do it. So yeah, just do something different.
Yeah.
Chitranjan Srinivas Swaminathan says, you pronounce my first name perfectly well. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Forgot to put in my question. What if Bray randomly appears as either face Muscle Man or heel Fiend? So
I think I like the
between.
Fiend too much.
I wouldn't be against Muscle Man and Fiend as two separate characters. I wouldn't be against that.
Like Demon Finn and Finn Balor.
Yeah. Or even Muscle Man shows up in the first hour of Raw, and Fiend shows up as a separate character in the second hour.
So
That
you got,
could be
like,
interesting.
The three faces of Foley, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That could be
Is that the
interesting.
'98 Rumble where they did all three of them?
That sounds right. That
Yeah.
probably would have been the right time. Yeah.
PB says, thoughts on Finn Balor to leave WWE, and Wyatt's gimmick is to replace him using the Fiend just like they did with Finn's Demon. Love you guys.
There's no way Finn's leaving.
No.
Yeah.
Wallow TV says, hello, new man. Best wishes from Painesville. That is one of our biggest fans, Mayor of Painesville, Dan, who's visiting us later this year.
Oh,
He is
nice.
indeed, yeah.
Very cool.
He came over from Germany for Wrestling MediaCon.
Awesome.
And, yeah, he's going to come back again because we're not doing MediaCon this year.
Oh, okay.
So he's just going to come over to come and have a drink with us. He's
I
doing
love
great.
it.
He's a
That's
super
awesome.
fan. It's great.
He's
I just double checked it wasn't the '98 Rumble.
the nicest man in the world. Matt Noble says, watching on delay, but hey, friendo.
Hey, friendo.
Pavi, Luke's #1 fan, says, I want the elimination to put over a babyface. I like the heels beat the tag team, so it become a 1-on-3, 1 versus 3, making the babyface beat the remaining 3.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, another name. Debaj Yotti Pradhan says, I know your secret, El Fakador is Luchasaurus. We're not saying anything. Nice. Ryan Martin says, thoughts on a Demon Fiend tag tandem? No.
Yeah, not into that.
I think we've only
It's two separate worlds.
We've got about 15 more, I think.
Crikey.
Trouble in Paradise, thank you for your donation.
Thank you.
Tomo says,
Tomo.
I'm sad I missed the whole stream. Well, we're sad
It's on
for
catch
you,
up, man.
Tomo.
Yeah.
You can catch on catch up. We'll start the stream over.
Trouble in Paradise, thank you again for your donation. Astro J5 says, no, she used Brock's UFC 100 promo. Look it up. Apparently she did use the promo. Yeah, well, good for her.
And do you know what? It works because I don't know. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a fine promo.
Exactly. Tommy Cat says, hi, Steve.
Hi, Tommy Cat.
Girish Bhatia, a very generous donation, says, Steve can't be John Cena. I can see him. Ask him or his T-shirt.
Oh, this is there's an artist named Ramon Villalobos. You can find him on Society 6. He has a thing there. He's done a lot of comic books these days for like Marvel and I think maybe DC. Yes, he did some DC stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I can tell you how long we've gone on this show. The TV's about to turn off.
Oh my goodness.
We have got 6 more. Alex Gonzalez says, Finn to join the club.
Yes,
We hope so.
Please.
Brett J. Rasmussen says, 2 of the best wrestling channels have come together. Love going in Raw and WrestleTalk. This is awesome, friendos. Love Bray's return on Raw.
Yeah,
Me too, man. And I've
absolutely.
very much enjoyed this crossover.
Brock without the K says, dip your pizza in water.
No, man, stop doing that, Brock. God, he's one of our guys. I'm sorry. You don't dip pizza in water.
Is that a thing? That can't be.
It's for him. It is. I've never seen it.
That's
anywhere
weird.
before.
You just get rid of
weird.
the oil, I guess,
Yeah.
and you get oily water. Whatever. Christopher Louis says, can you two sing The Best of Both Worlds? This is going to be
It's
phenomenal.
gonna be phenomenal. I can't remember what the first line is.
Oh, TV's turned off.
TV's off. Yeah. I'm not afraid to dream big. Dream
We're-
big.
we're not afraid to bring the fight.
Bring the fight. Got the best of both worlds. And it starts here tonight. Gosh,
Yeah.
remember when they did that?
There you
No,
go.
what is that from?
It was when they started doing joint pay-per-views again because they were doing the separate
Was it
ones
back
after the
then?
brand
Okay.
split. And then they had the promo was them like in a recording booth.
Oh,
recording
okay, I
the
remember that. I
single.
don't. Okay,
It
I
was
don't
just
remember the
before
song.
MediaCon last year, so whatever show
Yeah.
was then, I don't know.
Such a good song.
That's great.
And it was awful.
Kay Houston says, yes, after the match, Joe went to choke Balor out again, and Balor rolled over and then started beating on Joe to defend himself.
I stand corrected.
Jobber JJ
Like a man in
says,
orthopedic shoes.
Jobber JJ says, new sub for you, Steve, enjoying you and Luke together.
Well, thank you very much.
There you go.
Hartley-
New friendos.
Collaboration.
2 more. Hartley Reaper says, Bray Wyatt pulling a Joseph Parker biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
And lastly, This one's for you, Luke. Scyther versus everyone says Raven returns, feuds with the Fiend. Thoughts?
Oh, man. I mean, I'd go for a Raven return.
Yeah.
I mean, Raven's the best.
He's the best.
He's
That
great.
is finally, but thank you so much for being so generous.
Swap Nation, you are amazing. All the friendos, you are amazing.
This is the longest we've ever gone, but we're not sad about that. So
Absolutely.
thank you very much.
And we're not done yet because we've got to shout out our $25 and above Patreon pledge hammers. If you want to join in that list, all you got to do is get over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk and get involved. And at the $25 and above tier, you get your name shouted out on this show with your own special wrestling name, like this guy, Tyler Sandbo Selector. Nice. And you get a cheap pop out of it as well.
Yeah.
You get to read the next one.
Cool like a summer's breeze, Chris Summerfield.
Yes.
Nate dropped surname.
Yes, returning the super chat. He's strong, Justin Roderick.
Yeah.
Justin Ayala.
It's meant to be like a
The thing is, ayayayala.
from-
Ayala.
yeah, from
Correct.
Power Rangers. No one ever gets that reference
And
but me.
Raz the Man reality.
Yeah, one of my faves, Xandermania, running wild.
Yeah, Xanamania.
T-Rex Joseph Clamorin.
Yeah. Girls on film, Evie Duran. Yeah.
The Toxic Dogma Avenger. Great film.
Alex the Rojas Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah.
good pronunciation.
Dylan McMillan and McMillions.
Yes. Marcus, he's got soul. Campbell, brackets, it's a football joke.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Woo! Former UFC champion Steve Ortiz.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
and
badass.
finally, it's barely average gaming.
Yes, thank you to every one of you. I love each and every one of the Swaff Nation and the Friendos. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
For joining us here. I
Oh,
hope
it's
we can
been
do
so
this
much
again.
fun. Absolutely, I would love to.
We'll do more collabs.
And
later
just to
in the
say,
day.
we've had
That'd be
almost
great.
5,000 people on this, so that is a
whoa.
mega number.
That is a mega number. I think it's one of our best ever.
It is. I think
actually.
it's our
That's
second best ever.
That's like WrestleMania levels.
It is.
Thank
Wow.
you so much to each and every one of you. If you're watching this on Catch Up, please click the videos that have just appeared on the desk right now to catch up with the latest WrestleTalk awesome things. I have been Luke Owen. This was Steve here. Over there was Randy Andy Datson. And that was Rambling.